Hey, it's PWC, and it's the second match of today. What do you think of the previous match, chat? I thought it was cool. That match was pretty insane, but this match could also be pretty good, right?
Probably. Are you sure? It's gonna be really good.
It depends on how good these players are, right?
Yeah, we don't know how good they are.
Yeah, I've never seen these players in my life.
Oh dear. You're in for a treat.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. I know them very well. I know them a bit too well. Rivers kind of came out of nowhere as I was leaving the community, and just got smashed some absolutely amazing scores. And Zetsu has really taken off over the past couple of years.
Oh yeah, like whenever the previous best player sort of started stepping back, Zetsu jumped in with his records of Ghost Team, and eventually, namely this year, he started scoring solo Yomu, and finally, after years of dominance from the old player, Alan, what's his name, Zetsu managed to snipe the world record.
Yeah, for me it was very beautiful to see. Alan had the record for so long. It just seemed that there was going to be no one to top that. Like it felt like Ian had almost been completed, because I watched that run, and there was only one mistake in terms of the survival part of it. Everything else was really good. It was just implementing more scoring strategies that got us from, I think it was 6.86 billion to 7.06 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy how much you can milk in every little part of this game.
Yeah.
It just comes to show that this game still has there's still ground to be gained.
Yeah. Now, speaking of amazing players, we also have Rivers, who also recently beat Alan's score.
Yeah, when I saw Rivers at first, we have a little IN scoring Discord server, and we kind of keep it private just because we want it to be people who are. It doesn't matter what your score is; it's just people who are actively scoring, so we can talk about scoring strategies and keep it very to the point. And Rivers entered. I was like, oh, who is this person? And then I looked up on Twitter, and they had I think 6.1 billion, and I was like, this person knows their stuff.
Yeah, like the way I found out about him was that he entered the Touhou Replay Showcase community Discord, and like he started posting like scores nearing 6 billion, and I thought, this guy's a pretty big deal, isn't he?
So I got a quick question. So we've been talking about the players, but who are you guys? I've never heard of you before. Who are these people talking right now?
I've never heard of me either.
I don't know, man. I'm just some stranger. I like PCB, I guess.
All right, I'm some stranger too. I like a lot of games.
I really am the stranger here. I used to play IN every day for a few years. I left the community when life hit me, but IN is still my favorite game of all time, and it's an absolute privilege to be able to talk about it here with you guys and watch these amazing players duke it out.
But that's us and that's the players, but let's get into introducing the game, shall we? So obviously this is Touhou World Cup. It's the 4th edition, 2023. It's an annual international tournament featuring the Touhou product shoot 'em ups, developed by Zune specifically. And you know, we have each match. It has 2 or 3 contestants, and they are competing in either no bombs or scoring type gameplay in either Lunatic or Extra. And we have a website, so go there. if you want. Today we have 120 minutes of reset time, so that's how long they have to start new credits, and they will be specifically competing for TWC score, which is sort of a normalized kind of system that like balances all of the shot types against each other, so that it's sort of to make them sort of equally difficult, if that makes any sense. It's kind of a normalized system anyway. Alright, so Touhou 8 Lunatic scoring, how does it work?
I guess I'll handle this. Alright, so scoring means you want to get more score. And how do you get more score? From things like point items and spell card bonuses. You're going to see spell card bonuses at the top middle of the screen when they capture a spell card, which means they deplete the health bar without taking any damage or bombing. And they're also going to be picking up point items, which are shaped like a square or a circle, depending on their size and their value. And these values also increase by the amount of time you collect. And the amount of time, the value of a time actually changes based on your point items, so it's going to be fun to see what happens.
Yeah.
How do you get time?
Yeah, so what you do is you want to cancel bullets with familiars. That's what's usually going to happen during the stage sections, and actually a lot on bosses also. Anyways, so basically you have your master enemy. It shoots out these familiars, and if you kill the master enemy, then the familiars also get destroyed. And if you cancel bullets with those familiars, you can potentially get a shitload of time from that. You can also get time by capturing spell cards, and if you do it faster, then that means more time. It just drops a whole bunch of time right around you, so that's good. So there's also some more ways to get time than just these, and I think Ryso's gonna go over that.
Yeah, so the crux of iron scoring is about manipulation of the human yokai gauge, which is here in the middle of the screen. You can make it go left or right based on whether you're focused or unfocused. Even with solo shot types like solo Yomu, there's still a left-right distinction based on whether you're focused or not. Human mode means that you gain time from shooting enemies and familiars, while Yokai Gauge increases your time by grazing. So you have sort of two scoring systems in one, and you change this gauge by collecting time when focused or unfocused. So that's a really important thing about this game, is knowing when to quickly switch to your other character, just so that you can flip this gauge left and right. There's also a few extra hidden mechanics about this gauge, like you get slightly more damage on the right hand side, but it's the main thing to note is that when you're on the human side, on the left side, when you collect point items, you get double their value. So anytime that a player is collecting point items, they need to be in human mode, and so they need to plan when they're getting time orbs to switch over to human mode and get the points items in the point of collection.
And these are our graphs for today. Yomu, being the strongest shot, also has the flattest graph, and then it's like the teams, and then the humans, and then the yokai. That's how it's looking today.
I look forward to the time where we get to solo Alice run TWC.
Alright.
I think that's all we want to talk about for scoring. We'll talk about more during the actual match itself.
Yeah.
And now it's time to see our games for today. We got Touhou 8 on the left, and we have Touhou 8 on the right.
Yeah. Rivers coming out hot with the time down of with Solo Reimu, and Zetsu also seems to be playing Solo Reimu.
This is a really interesting choice. I thought that they were both playing Solo Yomu, but it seems that
Switch is here now.
Would this be considered? This is considered yokai mode, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Sure.
So he wants to be grazing more than he's avoiding bullets, no graze.
Yeah.
I see that we're currently seeing on the left hand side where the hidden stage 4C, where you actually fight Yomu instead of Reimu or Marissa. This is a TWC first.
Oh yeah.
After getting 7 billion, he unlocked Aya as a playable character, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah. He's also in a different mode. This is like the green mode. The green mode. Like
Okay, so
humans are like blue and yokai are like pink, but Zetsu is green right now. No idea.
all right, it's time.
He actually picked pink mode, so he's in yokai mode. Timer started.
So one thing we need to mention about this. Oh, game's back to normal.
At least for one of them.
One thing we need to mention is they're not allowed to use continues. Unfortunately, we can see on River's side that his final digit is a 4, which means that he has used continues. Hopefully he can clear this time.
Yeah. Would be a real shame if Rivers couldn't clear a run.
So right when he started the game, you noticed that Zetsu was shooting. Now, why was he shooting right at the start? There's no enemies.
Yeah,
It was just to put himself into human mode as quickly as possible so that he could milk some time from the first few enemies.
So what you're saying is shooting changes your mode.
exactly. You have the ability to slowly change the gauge even when there's no enemies or time on the screen, just by shooting in the mode that you desire to be in. At least with human. You can also, I think you can grazing in yokai changes your mode.
Speaking about grazing, I'm noticing his graze counter is going up by 3.
Yeah.
Why is that?
If depending on the mode you graze in, you get more graze per. If you graze in human, I believe you get additional graze. It's to counteract when you're grazing in yokai mode, you gain more time. There's actually calculations that go behind the scenes where you gain more points both as a function of your time and your graze. So graze is actually still important. It's just not as important as collecting time. But if you have, it's important to note you only get the time from grazing during boss fights. So you actually want to stay mostly in human mode for a lot of the stage.
Zetsu coming up on his waifu.
Yeah, this is one of the things about IM players is that you always develop a wriggle complex as you spend most of your time here. As this boss has a lot of interesting scoring techniques that you can really milk a little bits of extra score out of, and so you
first right here, focus bomb.
That was
spell starts.
That was exactly to change the yokai gauge from left to right. So then you don't have to worry about not gaining time from grazing here.
Yeah. You also don't need to worry about damage at all. Yeah, that's an instant reset. So obviously, for those who don't know, a death bomb kind of. I mean, it's already bad because you're like losing it. You're losing a precious bomb, but also it's doubly bad because because a desperation bomb is kind of different from a death bomb in it that it uses 2 bombs, then it's like a different kind of bomb, and that's what happened there.
Yeah, and when you're so early in this run, you kind of want to be even if you're not getting perfect execution of your strategies, you don't want to be losing resources this early. So what you might be noticing is that a lot of these enemies are being left alive, and there's various reasons for this. So you gain raw score from time, as well as increasing your point item value. So you gain slightly more score if you wait to collect, to get more graze, and then collect the time orbs. So you get slightly more by leaving them alive a little bit longer.
So I noticed something funny is going on with the spell card bonus. It's kind of getting stuck. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah,
maybe there's a limit.
There is a limit. The initial spell card bonus that starts is the cap, And when you gain time orbs during that, it increases the spell card bonus up to that cap. The only exception is for survival cards where there is no cap.
So, shit, I had a thought in my mind, but it slipped.
7k time each, nice.
Yeah, you can
Very
see
nice.
how well these players have optimized their categories. They're very, very, very close. And that's how it can swing either way. We have two of the very best IM players, and they are both capable of producing very good runs that are almost parallel to one another in score. So it's really down in the details of how the intricacies of how they execute these strategies. So let's talk about spell card 1 with Wriggle again. This you bomb to get into yokai mode. And a special part of Yomu is that even when she's focused, she's still classified as a human, which means the familiars are still attackable, and they are sort of switched on. And when you have these switched on familiars, they often shoot differently. And in this case, they shoot shed loads more bullets. For other teams, they have to cycle between, they have to spam shift consistently so they can come in and out of focus to get the more bullets from human, but still get the graze time mods from yokai.
I saw recently that there's been a bit of a development with Ghost Team where they kind of try to do that strat, but it's like, or rather where they do the focus bomb with Ghost Team also. Well, there's been a development there anyway. I don't know if they do it in runs, but I digress.
Yes.
This Wriggle's second spell, it looks kind of fun spinning up there, but the biggest thing to watch out for are the random blue balls that appear that come out of the familiars. That's the most random part other than Wriggle's movement. And you have to be on the correct side of Wriggle at particular times during these spins, otherwise she'll go in the wrong direction and you'll be able to access less bullets to graze, and more importantly, you'll probably die, which is a big problem in this spell card here. You need to be cautious of where you're directing Wriggle while still getting all of this graze from these bullets. Every time one of these bullets changes shape, I believe you can graze it again. So this is why you spend all the time up at the top here. And you can see the graze, the time counter is just increasing so much from this spell. You can get up to over 6,000 time in this. I think the best might be even getting close to 7,000 time. It's a huge chunk of the score from this stage.
Right.
So now when we transition to stage 2, they got a bomb. What's going on with that?
Yeah, so each team has additional bonuses, and one of the bonuses that Solo Yomu and Ghost Team get is at the end of each stage. If you haven't got a full amount of bombs, you will gain an extra bomb. It's one of the reasons why you use that bomb in stage 1, because you're going to get it back if in stage 2, but only if you use it. So you get more bombs by using an occasional tactical score bomb.
Yeah.
So now we're going to come up to
This is known as the 2K fairy.
Yeah, there's many.
2,000 time.
There's many of these 2K fairies, and you have to kill them at a very specific timing. And these fairies, you have to kill them at a very specific timing.
Yeah, a lot of the routing in this game comes from killing fairies at a very specific time in order to, well, maximize the amount of time that you get.
So yeah, why do you need to kill them at a specific time? Is there like a bonus or like a messed up code or something going on?
So when you kill them too early, you get less familiars spawned. If you kill them too late, because stage 2 is specifically timed to the music, some enemies will not spawn if a previous enemy is still alive. And that means you lose point items. So you want to keep the enemies alive just enough so they spawn more familiars to get more score and more cancels, but make sure you kill them so you still get all of the maximum amount of enemies to spawn. And you can probably see that as these enemies are being killed, they're being killed, and you get this little explosion that's like different from the death, and that's the if you get a good indicator, if you've gotten the maximum or close to the maximum amount of time from an enemy, is you get this little extra visual effect, which indicates that all of the spawning bullets that are currently being spawned have been cancelled by the familiar. So it's a great way of checking how good your cancels are being, and if you've timed it correctly or not. Yeah,
It's time for the fun grace.
Oh yeah, this is the most infamous graze of IN. It's very technical. It's surprisingly consistent, not fully consistent, but surprisingly consistent. And the main crux of this is that if, again, like I mentioned with Wriggle, you have to be on the right side of Missia, otherwise she will move in. If she moves towards the corner too much, you will get boxed in and you will die. It's almost like a game of cat and mouse that you're trying to abuse as much time focused as you can to get more time orbs, but you also have to unfocus to be on the right side of Mistia at the right time, and that's it requires very precise focus control.
Yeah. Speaking of focus control, we mentioned during the slides that time orbs help you to reach either human or yokai mode faster, because they like manipulate the gauge in their own right. Basically how that works is by collecting time when you're either focused or unfocused, it will just go that direction when you collect a time orb. And that's actually really, that fact is actually really important for the routing, especially on boss threats.
Yeah, and you might have already noticed this, but the time orbs are almost always auto-collected. So you can, for example, in human mode, shoot a bit, and then quickly while they're traveling to you, focus to then switch your gauge to yokai. So there's many different ways of controlling it, and you can induce it in many different ways. It's not completely out of your control. It's just different situations you can get different amount of gauge control with. So,
Zetsu right now is using score bombs.
Yeah, this shot type and Ghost Team have the best score bombs on this pattern, and it's because it's so dense, and you have so many iframes with Yomu's bomb that it's some different bombs have different amounts of invincibility frames, and also different, and that changes how long you have being invincible to graze. And it also depends on how much freedom you have in the bomb. Some bombs lock you in place, and therefore you don't get the mobility to graze. But Yomu's got a nice happy medium with that, and it also brings you close to the top of the screen, so that's very useful.
The one thing we didn't mention is there's a limit to how many lives you can have in this game. I believe it's 8 lives max, but the game actually gives you 9 lives. So there might be a reason why they already depleted all their bomb count right now, but we might find out later on, maybe stage 4.
Yeah, so they'll be gaining an extra bomb into the next stage because they've used them all. But yes, there will be a tactical death so that you can restock your bombs, because you're going to be getting max lives anyway. In this game, you get a shed loads of score from having lives at the end of the game. So the ideal is to have a full stock of lives. Be clear. And we can see Rivers on the left side doing the infamous horned owl graze. It's always beautiful to watch.
Yeah. I don't remember what my first reaction was to that graze.
My first reaction was, I want to start scoring this game. You can get a consistency of 66% on it. It looks so hard, but you can really learn it. There's only some particularly nasty RNG. You can control whether the boss goes left or right based on if you're on the left side or right side, but you can't choose whether she goes up and down at all. That is out of your control, and she can go too low or too high, and unfortunately it can kill you. And she can collide with you.
Yeah.
Okay, stage 3.
Stage?
Stage 3 is the most technical stage in terms of the stage portion. There's so many enemies that you can kill and cancel other enemies' bullets with. and so there's a lot of specifically timed killing, so that you can not only get maximum cancels, but also carve your way out of all of these bullets, because these fairies are quite easy when you're playing survival, but because you leave them alive so long, enemies in IN, if you leave them alive, they start spewing lots and lots of bullets. So,
yeah, if you ever watch an IN score player, like watch their streams, and like you're specifically watching their practice sessions, then you will see that they will have by far the most amount of attempts on stage 3 on their practice stream.
Stage 3 is like it was a daily practice for me. When I was playing, I would sit down. It's the first stage I would play because it's the most technical. There's so many different little things you can be doing, and if you mess it up, you just die, because the fairies will fire so many bullets. If you haven't cancelled them, there's almost no way of getting out of it.
Zetsu getting into our little cute
time
safe
for the
spot
boss
here.
theme music.
So this Graze, it looks incredibly technical and very precise. It's actually not too bad. If you want to start scoring IN, learning this Graze, it's quite simple. You just need to move a bit to stay around the bullets, and then whenever the blue bubbles spawn, you can almost move at when the sound effect happens. You have enough time, as long as you've got a good enough reaction time.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, Rivers got hit on Missia spell. They're at 125 power right now.
Oh dear.
Yes, that is unfortunate. It's not the end of the world, just because we're going to be getting a.
Oh yeah, wait,
that's
inside.
That's the intent. That's intended so that you can get a full power cancel there. It's very clever. For those who don't know, when you get full power, you auto collect items on the screen.
That's my bad, by the way.
And you cancel.
That's my bad. That's my bad. I mean, I guess I'm also like just not used to solo Yomu suiciding on stage 3. In Overroute
stage 4, so wasn't it stage 4 before?
It used to be in stage 4, but I think it's a relatively new tech to do it in stage 3. So, Kaine, interesting things to note. Her bullets they speed up and slow down based on whether you're human or yokai. But Solo Yomu does not get to choose whether she's human or yokai. She is always classified as a human with regard to familiars. And so all of these patterns are a little bit more challenging because you don't have that bullet control you normally have.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about how. Actually, it's more worth it to talk about how he's prioritizing familiars over Kaine herself here.
Yeah. So interestingly, you gain if both your main shots and your what's called Myon, the little side shot that Yomu has, hit the same enemy, you get reduced amount of time. So you gain most time from Yomu by having your familiar shots, the little ball that follows you, hit an enemy different than the one you are shooting.
Alright, the racing begins.
This is
little focus bomb to get into the spell.
Yeah, so the bomb happens before the spell card starts, so that you still get the spell card bonus. And this is, if you mess up this Graze, you have to restart. It's so much score. It's like 200 million score over the entire run.
Oh yeah, just look at all that time.
And you have to this is all about positioning of where the boss is positioning. You have to always make sure she's going left, right, and if she goes too far up and too far down, or starts running towards you, you have to find a way. So just there, Kaine was going to smash into Zetsu, and so Zetsu decided to come out and drop just half wave of Graze, and that was probably the most safe route. Zetsu's doing amazing on score anyway, so there's no point risking. Even though it's such a lucrative Graze, sometimes you have to know when to call it quits and not take that little bit of extra risk.
Yeah, thankfully it was like towards the end of the spell that time.
Yeah, exactly. If you did that at the start of the spell, that would be catastrophic.
Is there a reason he chose a focus bomb instead of just bombing normally?
If you
Does it do something with the gauge?
Yeah, it does. It changes the gauge to yokai. So it's that any time most bombs in IN, if they're not directly for graze, they're for changing the gauge very quickly, and it means that you don't. It's very hard for Solo Yomu to sometimes get from human to yokai. Even though Yomu, because she's half human, half yokai, has halved gauge on the left and right side. She kind of mows down most familiars very quickly, so it's harder to milk them for long periods of time to then switch your gauge over. But other shots don't necessarily have that problem.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about how Yomu is a bit of a special case in this game because. You have your teams and you have your solo shots. Normally, the solo shots are just, the solo equivalents to whatever they did in the team. So, for example, Alice is the yokai half of Magic Team. She can't reach human mode.
Yeah.
And obviously, Yomu is the human half of the Ghost Team, but since she is considered a half Ghost, Just in order to be consistent with the lore, Zun sort of implemented it so that she has half gauges on either side, so she can still reach both.
Yeah, because of this, she has the easiest gauge control in a lot of situations, and this is a train wreck. Oh, I've been there many times myself, Zetsu. This stage is this stage is brutal. It is, when it goes right, it's very easy. When it goes wrong, you die very quickly. That's a lot of iron scoring because you're waiting for you're getting in bizarre positions to get POCs as you kill enemies, and waiting for them to start firing lots of bullets. If you miss those cancels, you are dead.
Yeah, Touhou scoring just consistently demonstrating how fragile it can be.
Yeah, and iron scoring is demonstrating how much everybody loves Wriggle Nightbug.
True.
If you never see Kaguya, you always see Wriggle.
Yeah. I mean, there's still cool shit going on here.
Yeah, the Wriggle grazes happening on the left are. They're fascinating to watch, and you see as the spell card dies, you have invincibility frames, so he goes into the bullets to graze more because he knows that you can't die from it, but you can still gain additional time.
Yeah.
There's all these little things, and you also have to be making sure that you, as the spell card is dying, because you're going to get point items, you unfocus for a bit, change your gauge to human to get the max value of the point items, and then quickly switch back to yokai so you can graze the next spell. So there's lots of little technical things that you can do for the final spell cards of before the last spells. Those final normal spells. There's little tricks you can do where you can simultaneously graze the last spell, but still gain the point item, the increased point item value of the last normal spell. Yep. Yeah, Mario X. Wriggle is the poster girl of IN. Any IM player that if you look in their folders, they have shed loads of Wriggle memes. It's hilarious. It's a hilarious little community to be in.
Yeah, if you ever witnessed Zetsu playing in previous TWCs, you would know.
Oh yeah.
You might notice sometimes players are going to be grazing a lot on spell cards, and sometimes they're actually just going to shoot them and speed kill them. Why is that? You might not notice this in other shot types. Yomu has a solo Yomu specifically. I don't think this happens for Ghost Team Yomu, but solo Yomu has a bug because Zun really loves solo Yomu. where she gains, I think, 10 times the amount of time from shooting in human mode compared to every other shot. And we've looked in the code, and it's just an accidental extra digit added on the end.
Wow.
Which is why, out of all the shot types, Yomu has a lot of spells that she just wants to speed kill, because then you get the additional time from killing the spell quickly, but also you gain time from just the shooting portion. So it's much more than grazing.
It's basically like you find a new Grace Rat, you test it out, and then you figure out that, just shooting normally gives more score.
Yeah, and that's why IN is a bit tricky. There's every rule, every scoring rule has an exception, and all of the game systems are interconnected. So everything, like we talked about at the start with score bonuses and point items, they relate to time in the gorge management, which then relates back to spell card bonuses, and there's even little things like under the Wriggle's name, for example, you might see those numbers, and that dictates that, I believe, changes the amount of. I think that changes
two variables, like variable A and variable B. So one of them represents A, one represents B, and it changes how much time orbs you get per familiar exploding.
Yes, I knew it was something to do with the familiars. It's very. It changes based on B. I think is the number of familiars you have cancelled, but not directly killed.
I think it's the number that spawned that
lived. Yeah. Okay, and then the plus is the how many are alive right now.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so many little aspects to this. You might want to be leaving familiars alive so you can increase the cancels you get from familiars later on in the stage.
Oh, all right, we're back. Enjoying the best theme.
Theme.
I once did an IN stream where I just put on the stage 1 theme for the whole stream when I was playing.
Based.
Just because that's the IN experience. You learn to really love or really hate that theme.
I feel like it's similar for almost any Touhou game. Like, I've learned to have a love-hate relationship with stage 1 theme in PCB, for example.
I think PCB one is quite gentle. Well, I think the stage 1 theme in Imperishable Night really sets the mood for the game. Like, it just feels like you're in the night.
Makes me sleepy. Alright, so we're on stage 2 on the right side. So one thing regarding the fairies after the 2K fairy is you're going to hear like 1, 2, 3, 4, and on 4 they're going to try cancelling. So you can time your cancels with, I guess, guides from the game.
Yeah, you're always using audio cues. Because as soon as you hear the 5th one, that means you've lost a fairy spawn. And because Yomu can't sort of turn off the familiars, the players are going to do their best to not accidentally kill familiars with their shots and try and kill the master enemy that spawned them. But with Yomu's sort of omnidirectional shot that she can choose, it makes it a bit challenging to keep them alive.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, kind of like a rhythm game. You just listen to the audio cues, use visual cues, and you just tap the shot key at the same time every time.
Yeah. Honestly,
more time than last time. 18K.
Honestly, I am kind of anti-rhythm game, but I gotta admit that it's a good analogy.
Well, I mean, I never played any, so I have no idea. I just guessed based on streams. Anyways, back to this. Oh, that was an early kill. So normally the 2 numbers at the top left don't carry over from the mid-boss to the boss, but because the boss directly follows the mid-boss, I think it gets carried over for stage 2 only. Anyone can confirm this? Well, we'll find out in a few seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. I got distracted by something externally. Can you say the question again?
Alright, so top left number. Right now it says 0 and 10. When the boss starts, will it still be 0 and 10? Or will it reset to 0, 0?
Pretty sure it resets.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it resets.
I guess we're reading the story right now.
Yeah. Hey chat, did you brush up on your Japanese before the stream? I hope you did. Otherwise, you won't know the lore.
Just get a phone and manually. Oh, it's still 0 and 10. So I'm quite sure for stage 2, because the boss directly follows the mid-boss, it gets carried over, but for other stages, it does not carry over. But I'd like someone to confirm this later. I know for stage 4, it does not carry over.
It's very interesting. Like all these little intricacies, these little systems that play into each other, whether it was intentional or not. Like these are things that you can take advantage of in principle.
I like how high their attempt counts are. So on the left we see 999 out of 999, but over here we see 500 out of 500, which is still really high. You can see how long they played the game for.
Yeah. If you haven't got 999s across the board, you're not ready to feed credits. Like I guess you can't it doesn't carry over from practice mode, but
I feel like that sort of history is indicative of someone who just hasn't really fed many credits yet, and like just hasn't done much stage 2 in practice mode.
I like how the bombs do just enough damage to not kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very interesting how a lot of these elements seem to
like they were
just work out. Zune was so drunk when he made this game that he doesn't remember half the things he did. But they work so well because all of the systems are interconnected.
Yeah. You know, that's kind of the spirit of Touhou. Zune gets drunk, he makes some bullshit, and we find it fun, and it just so accidentally happened to be a really excited and intricate system.
Yeah, so here's an interesting fact. Mystia's last normal spell here works differently in practice mode than it does in stage.
Runs.
Yeah, or in spell practice. There is a bug with how she shoots the aimed bullets that are supposed to spawn when you're near the top, where they don't actually aim at you if you move correctly. While in spell practice, if you try and do the same thing, you'll die immediately because those bullets are supposed to stop you from being near the top.
Human Pock getting 2 times value? Yes, it was mentioned near the start, actually.
Yeah, it's super important in this game.
So, do you guys think that that Zetsu mainly practices with TH prac because his history on that final spell was higher than on the first spell?
It would make sense that he's practicing with TH prac, but that would also mean he hasn't reached 999 with all shots. With all spell cards, which means he got 7 billion without that. But I mean, he's scored other shot types too, like Ghost Team.
Ghost Team.
How much does graying items lose?
A lot.
A lot. Don't do it. It's very bad.
I know in PCB it loses like 75% value. Is it the same in IM?
I think it's
first you're going to be losing the ×2, and then you're going to lose what else is happening from graying it.
Yeah,
but I mean,
compounding.
World records do grade some items if you take a close look. Like, I know the old Scarlet Team world record grade a lot of items. Oh no.
That looked slightly
But it's
bad.
okay, he can die once, right? It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just has to...
That was a planned death.
Sure.
I mean, not planned. He plans to die anyway, but it's not in that spot. It's fine, so it's still fine.
You get roughly the same cancel, so it's not like catastrophic. It's just a slightly different route that he has to use in the second part of stage 3.
Yeah.
So you can see here 2 familiars have been left alive. That's because Kane can only have a maximum of 10 familiars. So if you keep them 2 alive and then have her spawn 2 times 4 more, you gain the maximum number for your cancel there.
So you can see right now it says 12 and 22. So when we enter the boss, we would love to see 22, but it's going to reset to 0.
Yeah, this is really interesting. There's always new things you can learn. I'm curious to see how if it does play out like we've modeled.
Yeah, I think. Well, I remember this clear as day. It was either in a PRS or during TWC 2020 when you said that you learn something new about this game pretty much every 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's
no matter how long you play it.
You can have thousands and thousands of hours in this game and you still learn something new. Like when we started translating some of the Japanese wiki on this game, it was like a hidden treasure trove of knowledge of things we just did not know that are so minor that it's really hard to come across them in ordinary gameplay.
Oh yeah.
You might notice a few times the dialogue scenes are being like extended. Sometimes that's just so that players can take a rest. Sometimes it's that players can align their hitboxes to specific parts of the UI or the text. It's why I can only play this game in Japanese, because the English translation, I don't know where the safe spots are for alignment during the boss text.
I reinstalled my game in Japanese because I think the English static patch is annoying.
It's cheating, actually. You can't. You're not allowed to submit official runs if you submit in English.
That too.
Unofficial game modifications. So this spell actually is. Here's a little tip for survival players. Stay still when the familiars are shooting in Kene's first spell. They are actually aimed, loosely aimed, so you get much wider gaps if you're staying still when they all explode and shoot at you. You'll thank me later. This spell actually could be grazed at the top for other shot types that don't have the bonus human unfocused shooting score advantage, and it's such a technical graze. I've seen it done for the whole spell, and it requires almost pixel perfect movement. It's phenomenal to see, but absolutely unhinged to do in runs.
Focus bomb time. Now his gauge is back to yokai mode. You can start grazing.
You see, he actually goes to the top, suicides, and bombs at the same time, because the bomb returns you to the position that you were when you pressed the bomb. Those are the little technical details that I find phenomenal.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can get the last wave. Actually, do you need to not graze the last wave so you can get the cancel? Because if you miss the cancel, you lose the spell card bonus and the items.
It depends on where Kane is moved, I think.
And let's see here. Yep, he didn't go in. Because if you're in, then you have to shoot the familiars, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm used to. I play Scarlet Team, so Scarlet Team does not have to worry about that for multiple reasons. And yeah,
so the last 2 spell cards are memos, so they just do the same thing every time?
Yeah. So people who play this game for survival might find this game quite easy, because once you've memorized all of the static patterns, there's not much randomness. The randomness that comes in this game is mostly experienced when you're scoring, and it's mostly to do with boss movement and, random stray bullets that spawn at the top of the screen, which are not usually a problem at the bottom if they're random, but at the top you have so little time to react to them that they become significant problems. And I assume this was done deliberately by Zune as that sort of risk reward. I
can't wait for the stage 6 RNG fairies.
Oh boy.
Elevator music. Alright, it's time for the second best stage.
Stage 4 is always the second best stage.
Wait, hold on. This is 4B. I'm sorry.
4B, no.
It's a bit lower. Oh no, I'm sorry for starting the fight. Let's just drop this conversation and get back to the game. So stage 4 is one of those stages you see them overlapping bullets a lot from fairies. You're gonna see that right after these fairy sections.
Yeah, it's beautiful that these routes of like overlapping fairies were discovered like back in 2005. It's nothing like novel. It's actually how the game was designed, and people found out very quickly that keeping fairies alive in this game is how you gain lots of score.
And if you hug fairies when they're supposed to shoot, they actually don't shoot.
Yes.
Which he used right there twice. He's gonna use that again on the middle. Yep, there we go.
It's absolutely amazing that you can do this, and then you can keep that fairy alive because you don't have to dodge any of its bullets, but still get those fat cancels from other fairies' bullets.
Normally I'd see a suicide here, but since he died once, I guess it skipped.
Yeah.
And now you want to shoot before the boss comes in, so you can get a bit more time.
Yeah, you don't want to. You want to leave your POC to the last moment, so you have as much time for your score. From the points.
Right. So, characteristic of Marissa is
Mm-hmm.
she constantly shoots out familiars that you just want to milk.
Yeah.
Which we will get to after Zetsu's little breather here.
Yeah, it's very interesting. The Marissa and Reimu fights play very differently because Marissa's all about milking, while Reimu's all about grazing. Roughly speaking, you do both. You do both in both
Shot types.
Mm-hmm. But there's definitely a focus for scoring in one and a different focus for other, and I just love that about this game. The fact that there's two different scoring systems that are both fun and interesting to engage with, and that by choosing your shot, you can choose which one you engage with more. Like
one thing we didn't mention was killing familiars as a human drops your gauge slightly, so he actually went below minus 30% and stopped getting time warps for a bit.
Yeah, it's especially because I think that the amount it drops is the same for each shot type, but because Yomu has a smaller gauge, it's a lot easier to drop out, I believe.
But since she gets time warps faster, it's a lot easier to get back in compared to like Sakuya.
Yeah.
So I always hear the second non is a bit difficult, but is it routable based on her movement?
Yeah, it's semi-static. There will be slight differences in the formations based on how much she moves, not just left and right, but mainly up and down, because it compresses or stretches bullets while she moves.
So there's this funny thing about this spell card where you can get 16 or 32 items at the end.
Yes, it's for both this spell and Reimu's equivalent on the other version of Stage 4. Because this is going to go into a stage section after this, the dialogue starts, which causes items to auto-collect, and there's so many bullets on the screen that if you kill it at the wrong time, the maximum number of point items can't spawn because there's just too many things on the screen. So you actually have to kill that spell at a very particular time to not lose items. This is I think the hardest stage portion in IN. At least for Scarlet Team. It's very intricate.
For starting off scoring with Scarlet Team, you want to bomb this section just to make your life easier.
Yeah, I'm not surprised Zetsu bombed here. This stage section is evil.
I think this game gives so many bombs that he has 6 right now. I think he gets 3 more? 2 on stage 5 and 1 on stage 6. So he's going to max out his bomb count.
Yeah, and bombing during a stage section, you're not losing any spell card bonuses or anything, or getting too out of position. It's better, and especially in a situation like this where they only have a limited amount of time to submit runs, to be using bombs semi-liberally. Of course, for stage 5, you want to have a bunch of bombs for score bombs, but I'm actually not sure if they do score bombs on Raisin in Solo Yomu. They do it with Ghost Team.
So after much setback, finally Rivers is in stage 3.
Alright. Now we have the left-right spell. Except it's a lot scarier than it looks.
Yeah, this is one of those spells that for newer players, it is absolutely hellish, but it's kind of it's once you know it, once you see it, you can't unsee it in a good way.
So the next spell is actually timed speed kill, I think.
And you might notice that Marissa's familiars, they are like these little spell circles. They've got much more health and therefore are much more milkable, and they're going to be used to milk. I accidentally killed Marissa there. Ideally, that milk would have went on for longer, but sometimes the boss will move and kill themselves, which is it happens.
So you want to kill the spell right here?
It's only a loss of a couple hundred time, I think, though.
Yeah, it's
in
not
that case.
We're finally grazing.
All right, this is the spell that of this stage. The lasers are randomly placed and have random angles.
So it's looking like around 60% history on this one on Zetsu's screen.
Yeah. So it's semi-consistent, but only semi-consistent due to the random nature of the lasers. And it's such a lucrative spell that you have to do it.
And now he's swapped back to human just to shoot at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't die.
Nice.
Yeah, he's fine. Good.
Alright, back to speed kill spells.
Good old final spark.
Yeah. I love this spell. This is one of my favorite spells in IN.
Rivers with 26k time. That is a lot. Zetsu had 24k last round.
26k is phenomenal in stage 3. I might start paying more attention to Rivers, giving Rivers some love.
Yeah.
We got stage 5, which is, I feel like, the stage people should start scoring with in IN because it's pretty consistent.
It's consistent, easy, and once you start getting good, you'll never practice it because it gets boring. And then you'll start dying on it again, and then you'll realize, oh, I gotta go do this book work again.
I guess we should mention the item cap issue, but we'll get to that on the mid-boss.
Yeah. Essentially, for a similar reason, for the second boss spell of stage 4, that is a way of losing the extra life you gain from the mid boss if you kill her when there's too much things on the screen. The game can't spawn items if there's too much on the screen.
There was a question in chat about how good is Zetsu's pace right now. I actually don't know Ion map, so hopefully one of the other two can...
Pretty good. This is...
Yeah, he's 102 into stage 5.
This is like high ends of 6 billion.
We got a 60 mil behind PB, and I think he had 7,100,000,000, so we might see a 7 billion here.
It's very possible, and that would be absolutely phenomenal.
Well, 7.01. So I'd say 695 maybe.
Oh wait, I can't do math. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
It's really funny that the stage 5 in this game has such intense music, but from a scoring perspective, it's kind of...
Really chill.
This is your rest stage.
Don't get rammed. Nice.
Has that ever happened to you?
All the time.
Of course.
The Touhou kicks are really... You kick yourself every time you do it.
I got this mid-boss twice in my PB run.
Oh my no.
You always, for survival players and score players, do this Tain on the sides. It's a lot easier to read the bullets.
When you do it on the side, some of the bullets go off screen and they don't come back.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the safe spot. That only works at max rank.
Yes.
Very
so
nice.
There's actually rank in this game where if you've died recently, the bullets will slightly be different. So the only way to consistently do this is to have it to not have died. recently.
Nice,
but
got the life.
He didn't get item capped. For those unaware, for those who witnessed EUSD scoring a few weeks ago, and how item caps could be a problem there. I mean, hell, even as recently as EUSD extra scoring, item caps would make sure that you either would or would not get the power cancel on Royal Flare. It's kind of the same thing in this game, but instead of despawning power, it may despawn the life from Tay.
Rivers has gotten an absolutely
50k time.
unreal time at the end of that stage. That's amazing.
50,500 down.
Like, I remember when the seeing 48,000 was really good. That's just how far these categories have been pushed since I was regularly playing.
If we take a look at these two right now, you can see their grades is about 3k apart, even though they're 1.5 stages apart, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rivers has been really pulling up some boots here. I think we have a potential for having a very, very close one here, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
Is the life count correct? You'll get 3 more. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Zetsu max resources also.
So yeah, Rivers is actually going into stage 4 slightly better than Zetsu was.
I think it's fair to assume Rivers is 7B pace right now.
Yes.
Potential, not pace, because... Anyways.
Again, a lot of the push into 7 billion depends on the strategies used during Kaguya, because there's a lot of extra things you can add in that make that fight so much harder. Oh, that's unfortunate on Zetsu.
Okay, so that was not intentional. But it's okay because...
he has the resources to spend. It's just slightly unfortunate.
He'll get one more bomb on stage 6, so he can still do 8-8.
He missed out on maybe 1 or a couple hundred time there also, and it's not that big a deal.
One thing to note is that if you want to start practicing iron scoring and to give it a taste, this spell is actually really easy to do. You can do it in spell practice. It's very fun.
He seems to be a bit to the right, but it's working.
Yes. Okay, so there's a little quirk with Iron's, the visualization of Iron's hitboxes. Depending if you've moved left or right recently, they change position. The sprite changes position with respect to the character, but the hitbox hasn't changed. It's a very, very, very annoying bug.
ESC has something similar, but without the hitbox.
Yeah. This is cute, by the way. This is the cutest grays in IN.
I've seen Scarlet runs skip lanes in order to race 3 waves instead of just 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Scarlet team has a much faster focused shot, which is really difficult to control. But once you have mastery over it, you can graze like a madman or madwoman.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is also just a speed kill, or as fast as you can do it when you've got familiars blocking the way. Little interesting fact: you cannot finish a boss's health bar by shooting at familiars. You can by killing them, or you can or by hitting the boss. But if you're dealing damage to a familiar and it hasn't died, it can't reduce the boss's health bar below 1.
At the end of the spell, his gauge management got a bit messed up, and he was at -14.
Yeah, again, it's less of a problem with this shot. It's much easier to get back on track. But yeah, it's very easy when you're kind of focusing on the technical movement side to lose track of your gauge management. It's why, for example, if you look around your character, when you're yokai, you have this circle spinning around you to indicate that you're in yokai mode without you having to look at the gauge.
Zetsu timing this down. I know. No, okay, he's not doing the bomb. Good.
I think he stopped shooting just to graze more.
Yeah. You can do super grazes on that spell. It's phenomenal for Pisky.
I think if he hadn't lost his bomb to panic, he would have used it there.
This is another one of those spells that's difficult when you're learning the game, but once you understand its idiosyncrasy. Oh, and here we go. This is the granddaddy of grazes in this stage. This is very technical, and I still really can't do it consistently. Because you want to be moving in a way where when there's familiars, because familiars cannot spawn bullets when you're on top of them, you can make these little gaps in the blue balls for yourself. But you also need to be watching out for where the blue balls are going to expand out, and then go up and graze, and then come back down, repeat. And to do it consistently is a real challenge, and sometimes you'll get blue ball placement where it's a little bit awkward, like here. You have to really be on it to do that spell consistently, and Zetsu aced that.
Yeah.
And this is another speed kill.
So, I think that's just another example of something that is kind of easy to do in practice, like maybe one or a couple of times in a row, but chaining it out for a full minute, that's where it gets kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that's one of the spells, like, you don't practice stage 5 in its entirety very much, but oh my, do you spend a lot of time on Invisible Full Moon, the last normal spell of the boss.
Alright. Zetsu taking another little breather.
Yeah.
You get grazing on the left side.
Yeah, so we've got this absolutely phenomenal graze again. Obviously I don't play this team, I play Scarlet, and so I'm used to a bit of a different type of hell, but this is... I want to actually, if I come back, I'll practice this graze in particular. It looks so fun because it's got so much RNG, but enough structure that there are strategies to cope with bad RNG. Like coming down to the bottom here gives you more space. So stage 6.
It's time for RNG fairies.
So all of these fairies spawn in random locations, and if you kill any familiars, the familiars in this stage spawn items. You cannot kill these familiars. You will lose so much score.
He's getting pretty fucked.
Yep. So because the fairies spawn in random locations, they can all spawn on top of each other, which is great. And you can see he waits until all the familiars have spawned before choosing how to tackle them.
Oh, nice.
Because
that's a good way.
If the first one spawns and you go straight to that, and the second two spawn on the other side of the screen on top of one another, it would have been better to just wait and go to the part where there's two of them, because it's a lot easier to deal with one alive than there is two alive.
So, what is River's pace looking like right now?
2.66 speed enter stage 5.
Yeah. He has 10,000 more PIV than Zetsu had. Actually, even more. Like 15k more than Zetsu had.
Yeah. I can't remember the raw score, but it's also very similar.
So, Rivers is on a stronger run than Zetsu right now.
Yeah, these players, as you can see by their high scores, are very neck and neck. These are the very best Iron players of all time. Either one could take this match.
Best Iron players so far.
So far, you never know, TSG. I might come back and start playing 20 hours a day.
48 hours a day, let's go.
48 hours a day.
69 hours a day.
It's called Imperishable Night for a reason.
There's a question on why he was killing the third fairy late. I think it's just to cancel the bullets into more time warps.
Yeah. anytime a fairy is being left for a little bit,
There's a bomb.
Panic.
a panic bomb,
I mean,
but not
better than death.
much better than death.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look like this like your Soloyumi skull bombs anymore. Resources are now going to be kept for survival because dying is you lose like 50 million.
Yeah.
It's never worth a death. If you're going to die and lose the spell card bonus anyway, you may as well use the bomb and at least retain the score from the life.
So, the thing with Kaguya is, like, optimally you Ellen and FS her. Also, River's got the life. Very nice. The thing is, though, Kaguya is really fucking difficult.
Yeah, Kaguya is like everything you know about IN being about memo and just the same every time gets flipped on its head. Kaguya is incredibly inconsistent on a lot of her spells. This Brilliant Dragon Bullet is hellish. It gets easier. Actually, if you time this down, the spell gets easier over time. It's denser at the start.
Oh, okay, that was scary. That's scary.
Nice cat.
Good.
Alright, so
Nice
we got
grab.
the misdirect going on right now.
Yep, so you go to the top to misdirect the initial wave. So you can then kill some of these familiars to reduce the density. And you also want to be shooting the familiars for the time. You do this with every shot because you can milk so much time from this, and there's not much bullet density to graze consistently here, so you shoot, you milk for time, and you try and keep Kags alive.
One thing we didn't mention is the value of a time orb. So the value of a time orb depends
Stop
on...
shooting there, so we didn't end up killing Kags, so we can mow down more.
Now in the late game, there's not many point items left, but what does become kind of relevant is like the score you gain from individual time items, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
so the graze that you've been getting through the game, that's different from the time, contributes to the it's the point items. The point
Yes,
items.
the point items.
Point item number increases the raw score you get from collecting time orbs. So even though you're getting less point items now, the point items you've collected over the game are now boosting the raw score you get from time as well.
Yeah.
So everything's always relevant throughout this game. When one system becomes less relevant, that's because the benefits from that are being put onto a different scoring system that is now being used a lot more.
Yeah. For reference, if I'm reading the kanji correctly, they are worth about 6,000 each now, which is huge.
I think we take the point item.
You
divide by
consider how
2.
many you get.
It's point items divided 2 times 10.
This is one of my favorite grazes on Kaguya. Almost all shot types can kill these familiars just using different techniques. You kill these familiars and then you switch to.
Let me actually check this.
Usually you'd switch to yokai. It seems that they're. Oh yeah, they're doing it.
Yeah, he's doing it.
Got Kags' health down enough so the kit can do the kill quite easily, and now it's just going to be grazing across these. And because the fireballs open up at the same spot every time, you can consistently just weave through them. It's such a beautiful spell.
Yeah. There's a lot of beautiful strats in this game, just like in any Touhou game.
Yeah. Like, it feels like this is the intended way of doing this spell. It just feels too right.
Yeah. I get you. And of course, every single spell cap is basically 30 mil.
Yep. So the spell bonuses go up throughout the stages, and so that's why not capping a spell here is catastrophic.
Yep. That's like 30 mil down the drain. On top of whatever resources you... Oh god damn.
Yeah, because you have to shoot this unfocused to get the time, you're getting uncomfortably close to Kaguya because she can kick you and kill you. And you go to the top right there just so you can collect the items at the point of collection. The point of collection is actually higher during that time versus during stage sections.
Alright, it's time for the infamous Horai Jewel.
Alright, Joel. This spell is aimed and static. You can do it the same way every time. And I have a spreadsheet of every button press that you do on the spell, at what time during the spell, to always cap it and get maximum graze. It's the same every time, but you'll not see this, but there's a technique called friction, where if you're holding down and move left and right while you're at the bottom of the screen, you're moving with the diagonal speeds, so you actually move slower than focused if you're holding down and moving left and right.
Yeah, that's traditionally called bottom dragging, but yeah.
Yeah, in other shmup communities they call it friction, and I love it because you're applying movement downwards, so you're scraping across the bottom of the screen, and therefore you're moving slower.
Yeah, that's a good way of thinking about it.
Fiction makes you look like a physics nerd. I am a quantum physicist, so yeah. Who would have thought? This entire commentary booth is STEMhead territory today, so.
And I think about it, you're right.
Yeah.
At least for this match. All right, very beautiful.
Horai Jewel is done. Max lives, max spells, high time. I think that's all of the point items you can collect in this game are very close.
You mentioned at the start that spell card bonuses have a cap, except for survival ones.
Yeah, these are all survival spells. So any additional grace, you can already see the bonuses already went up from the initial time collected. That number's just going to go up. And so you do these highly risky strategies, to different levels of risk, where these spells are particularly dense, so that you can really increase that spell bonus and gain so much extra score.
Oh yeah. But like also a big factor in the clear bonus is the night bonus, and failing a Kaguya last spell is not just catastrophic because you lose the spell bonus. You also advance the clock, which lowers your night bonus.
Yeah, so you lose the clock if you if you do not capture the last spell of each stage, and you lose clock if you fail any of these spells.
Actually, you can fail last spell on other stages. It won't advance the time. Only if you
have
don't
to
use the
unlock
time
it.
counter. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to unlock the final spell to not increase the time counter. You have to extending the game's length. The time does not progress. You create the imperishable night. Yep, this spell.
Oh no! That's a disaster.
That is
200 million lost.
That is so much score down the drain.
And that is also a rage bomb afterwards.
Actually, no, that was a bomb to fix the gauge, right?
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's my bad. Because you can't bomb during the spell. You can bomb in the space between the spell ending and the nullity being not applied, and
someone mentioned that the
starting.
worth of a bomb was more than getting those time orbs, so it could have been a rage bomb.
Maybe.
Definitely could have.
6.6, 6.7? No, 6.6. Oh wow, nice.
666.
There's 2 instances of 666 in this. What the hell?
So this run would have been around just below 6.9 if that mistake didn't happen. Last spell 4 is also one of those spells which is...
Oh, it's if last year's Sunning Blocker, yeah. Yeah, very delicious.
I know this character.
Here's Rumia. Yes, a 1-up, very delicious.
So we got 3.85 billion, enter stage 6.
Here's Regal. Kaboom!
So the PIV here for Rivers is wait,
lower. Something's different.
I love Zetsu.
Yeah.
So Rivers right now has
What is this spawn?
lower PIV,
Great.
but quite
Great items, yeah.
quite a lot. But
I think he
still,
had more score though.
yeah. Sometimes it's difficult to tell an Iron because sometimes you have sacrificed PIV for more VOR score, intentionally or unintentionally. So
But he can definitely get first if he caps LS4.
yeah, last spell 4, we'll talk about it when Rivers gets to it. It's not as technical as it looks. It is quite consistent, but again, when you're nervous and you require quite a specific timing, it's very easy to go off kilter.
Yes, Rivers has one less bomb. It's going to be 8-7.
Yeah, ideally.
Someone asked, if you do LS4 safely, how much score do you lose? Definitely you lose a lot from the spellcard bonus.
Yeah, you in Iron scoring, you have to do it in the middle. You lose maybe 120 to 140 mil if you don't do it in the middle.
Alright, Zetsu's ready after that practice run. Of course, it's consistent because you play a slow shot. Yeah, I think Yomu's a bit fast, which makes LS4 harder, because you can ram bullets behind you. But I feel like I've had that happen with Scarlet Team as well, so... I mean,
Yeah, Scarlet
I need
Team,
more testing.
Scarlet Team does have it easier because Sakuya's... So the benefit of Scarlet Team is the difference in speed between Sakuya and Remy is quite small, so it's a lot easier to control your movement. With Yomu, you either go like at a snail's pace or as fast as a race car, while with Remy you are constantly jogging, and Sakuya is only slightly faster than that.
So he has more score than Zetsu for sure, so we want to pray for full spell.
Yeah,
Nice
here's
cap.
hoping.
So yes,
I see everyone do the misdirect differently. Zetsu was on the right, Rivers was on the left.
Yeah, I always do top left corner.
I do the top right.
I wonder how much I should try a top right and see like how different it feels. I imagine it's negligible.
I know I want to play Ian someday. I wonder
Scarlet
which.
Team, right?
I wonder which.
Scarlet Team, right? Scarlet Team, right?
I need to decide which side I should misdirect this on first.
I think you should decide which shot type first.
Solo Alice.
Oh no!
Solo Alice, join TWC. Be the change you want to see in the world.
I kind of want to look into both. Not gonna lie.
I don't think we mentioned, but the second spell card with human shot types is really difficult, because you're not actually damaging the boss, you're damaging these familiars.
Yeah.
He already lost the gauge. He's prioritizing living.
Yeah, you cannot. There's no gain gauge for grazing.
Yeah.
And just to mention that this non-spell is there is a method to it. The method is very inconsistent. So you see where the familiars like try to cross over as they come down? The point which they cross is roughly where you're going to have a bullets fired towards you, roughly. So you can use that to gauge roughly where you're going to have higher and low densities.
There's a question about how much does a fully unfocused brilliant Buddhist diamond give compared to a fully focused. No idea.
I couldn't give you specific numbers, but I imagine it's about 1,000 times. So about
6 million-ish.
yeah.
Did commentary mention 0 HP milking? I think we mentioned about how you can't kill the boss by shooting a familiar.
Yeah. So you can you can milk any boss attack as long as you don't kill the familiars. You cannot finish off the boss just by damaging the familiar. You have to damage the boss or kill the familiar to do that last point of damage.
Apparently, it's 7 million for unfocused.
Yeah, I'm glad my napkin math turned out to be
accurate.
Yep.
Very nice.
All right.
It means my time away from this game hasn't made me too rusty.
Yeah.
You can actually safe spot the start of this and then jump down before she starts shooting the defense bullets.
Rivers.
But you can't raise.
So Rivers is still full spell, but the penalty is still very infamous, as you may have seen on Zetsu's screen earlier. I really hope he caps it. He's getting pushed up still, but he's handling it really well.
Yeah, this is the scariest shot type to do this spell with.
Nice cap.
Good.
Yep, perfect.
I hope he doesn't get the bullet coming from behind.
Oh yeah, there is a consistent way to make sure that never happens. I can't remember how to do it, but it depends on which side of the screen you're on. I think if you're dead center, it happens. So it helps to be slightly off center. Yeah. So you know how the bullets reflect? There is a way of positioning yourself so that one of the bullets that like aims at you actually reflects backwards again and kills you. It's really, 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 really frustrating. Yeah, dead center.
Yep. So, what kind of pace are we looking at for Rivers right now, do you think?
My question is, can he die 8 times right now and basically get PND without the clear? Is it possible to suicide 8 times in 30 seconds? Probably not.
Does PND even let you do it if it's not a clear? I thought
No,
that used to.
it does not.
Well,
Yeah.
he can theoretically, if he had infinite time, he could.
Oh,
Bullshit.
that's a good.
So now
100 mil lost.
after he finishes the spell, he needs to unfocus to get the time orbs to get double the effect. Okay, I'll stop now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't time that. Nice.
Alright, Joel, when it goes right, it goes really right, and as soon as it starts going wrong, fixing it is a problem. But at the very least, if you've died on it, if you've bombed on it once, it's not a huge deal. The fact that it was 2 death bombs means that you've lost 4 bombs. So that's a good.
I think you can still get first.
I think yes. I think if this is done perfectly, Rivers is still going to probably get around 6.7.
Because Zetsu failed LS4, and this guy still hasn't failed it, so... Sorry, still hasn't. He will cap it. We know that, as a fact.
Off-center.
I'm sorry.
Oh...
Bruh. Is that a similar amount lost to Zetsu already?
I don't think so, because he died right at the... Oh, you mean this combined with Rigel? Maybe.
Yeah.
Since, depending on where you die, or where you get hit on a last spell, the time increases by a different amount. So if you're more than halfway through it, it increases less.
There's a Touhou water closet. I was waiting for it.
Which one does he go to? The last one.
The last one, yeah.
I think even if Rivers does really well in these next spells, it's still going to be just under
6.6. Yeah.
We can only like just let him play the run out and see how it looks at the end.
So sometimes though, like when you feel like it's over anyway, your nerves are kind of like they go down because it's like, well, I've already messed up.
I know exactly what you mean.
And sometimes, sometimes that means you can get a PB when you didn't think you could, just because you're no longer caring.
All right, it's time. He lines up with the spell card text. Then goes up.
plenty of little tricks.
Just
Use the UI to your advantage.
just barely left of the Rue there.
Nice.
Did it? Oh my god! Did the risky
Very
strat
good.
of staying up right next to the bullets for a little bit extra graze? That's
We're gonna
like
get
the seasoning on top of a great meal.
Oh
nice,
yeah,
90.
Yeah.
91.
91 million. Very good.
That's excellent. You can actually get the max 99.
So wait, actually, I think this might actually do it, because clear bonus is going to be over 60 million, and then capping this is like 100 million.
Yep, if this is a cap, by the way, this is like the best. I think the best consistency on this spell I've seen
scary.
is 40%. This spell is absolutely brutal.
Yeah, like in Alan's 6.8 run, which was up for quite a while, because the replay of his 6.84 didn't exist for quite a while. He failed last
Nice.
spell.
Nice.
6.74.
Yes.
Very nice. So Rivers is now in first place.
This is what I like to see. I like to see a bit of tension. The slight underdog of Rivers being slightly lower on the total scoreboards, bringing it back,
There we go.
putting the world record holder on edge.
Q body cube. I don't know what that means.
90% cube.
Oh, okay.
But is it 90%? Looks like a cube to me. Where's the 10% going? Am I understanding this incorrectly? Someone help.
I don't know. This is
I
too
have
high level.
not. I have not read Japanese in a long time. I only speak it occasionally.
This is way too high level for me.
I see 2 cubes, because if I like zone out my eyes, I can like see the other version. Oh no, it's back. Stage 4 PB.
So you might notice that they each player has something to display at the end, and that's because Zune has always requested that the endings be blocked
secret.
out. Yeah,
Only for people who can clear.
yeah.
Which is why we will never see the actual 7 billion clear, because
Secret
you
ending.
actually get a secret ending, yeah.
The secret ending where Zune himself comes to your house and gives you some of his favorite beer.
There's actually another secret ending that you get at 5.5 billion. So if you all want to see the secret ending, I highly suggest you try scoring and get 5.5 billion.
But only if you clear. Only if you clear and get 5.5. But we've got 38 minutes left. That's enough time for some resets,
Yeah.
and then getting one last proper good run going. It's not over for Zetsu by any means. This is still in the ball game of either of these players.
Final run magic is also a thing. You gotta remember that.
In the same way nerves can be a hindrance, they can also help you.
Yeah. Anyways, since we still have plenty of time left, I'm gonna do Zetsu real quick. BRB, entertain chat while I'm gone. To your best abilities.
Alright, so what's the plan?
I've
Back to stage 1 it is.
Back to stage 1.
Stage 1 was stage 2 music. Nice. No, come back.
At this point, they've both got quite good scores, and so they don't want they want to be getting
Good runs.
really good performances in the first few stages.
Oh, we got an LS1 practice.
Yeah.
Oh, Rivers has 99 score. 99.23 points. Let's let one fairy go. He should probably reset now.
Yeah.
I don't think he saw the fairy. He has 7 point items. It should be 8, right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
We got
it's
Horizon
8.
practice too.
Yeah, but one of the things you'll see by these really high-end players is that as soon as they make a mistake, they either like go over it immediately, or they save it, and then after they've done a few more runs, they'll go back and really hammer that spell. that's what like makes the difference between a good player and a great player, is that they are all constantly re-going over their gameplay and like correcting things that they are under practiced on.
Hi, I'm back.
Hello.
Hi, back.
There's been a there's been a striking lack of toilet breaks this TWC so far, so I just decided to take the fall and just add one to the counter.
Take the WC.
Yeah.
I have a little story. I'm actually living a bit. I had a bit of an imperishable night last night. It's flying ant season here where I live in York in the UK, and if I didn't have it's really hot in my room, because if I have my windows open at night, lots of flying insects enter, and it just made me feel like, wow. And the day before Iron commentary, I'm getting attacked by a swarm of night bugs.
You should get one of those mosquito nets. Put over your window.
I need them so much. I hate spiders or any insects getting in, but I love having a draft.
Yeah.
I like this BGM, so I hope it doesn't get swapped.
No.
Zetsu.
Aw, we're back.
Kinda late bomb, so he was trapped by the bullets.
If any of you guys listened to the Stage 1 theme, but from the album,
Yes.
it's beautiful. It's putting that on at night, like go stargazing. One of the most beautiful experiences of my life.
Someone asked what happens when the timer hits 0. They are not allowed to reset, but they are allowed to finish their current run.
Yeah. So I like that there's a different approaches here. Zetsu is going mostly straightly into doing more runs, while Rivers feels like they want to really focus on some of those mistakes that they made during that run to make sure that they're not going to happen again.
I think Zetsu did actually practice right after.
Right, a little bit, yeah. But Rivers is really focusing in on it.
I feel like Zetsu has the sort of just where did I go wrong attitude, so like he just quickly jumps into spell practice and like does it until he gets it right one time and says whatever.
Yeah, for me, I think any time I do, because like those last spells, like you can't practice them properly in spell practice because a lot of them rely on aligning with dialogue. I go into Touhou and skip to the end of the stage and then get all of the text to then align my hitboxes correctly to then practice that. That's usually the problem, that you haven't been aligning your hitboxes with the text correctly, and you can only practice that with practice tools.
Also, River's back in runs now.
You might notice in stage 1 particularly, like there's a lot of little technical, like precise killing of enemies, leaving them alive. You can the stage is very modular as a budding scorer. You can add in strategies as you get more comfortable. There's many different easier strategies that you can implement, so you can put credits in and get further in without being meticulous. And that's what I love about this game, is that a lot of the scoring strategies are modular, so you can really go at your own pace. You can craft a route that gets the score that you want, that you desire, with that's appropriate for your skill level.
Yeah, I really like games with highly customizable routes. Like the classic example is UFO, but Ian is like that too. Yeah,
Ian, because there is intricacies with how all the scoring systems interact. You'd expect that there's you have to play the game a certain way, but again, you can, because for example with Solo Yomu, which I wouldn't recommend learning this game with, but you can decide to just speed kill a spell, that you might be able to get slightly more time from grazing, but you still get enough time from speed killing unfocused to have a bit easier of a time and a bit more consistent of a time.
One thing I don't think we mentioned is we want to cancel spell cards so the familiars explode on a lot of bullets, but
Yeah.
the bosses also cancel bullets that are close by to them.
Yep, it's... Unfortunately, you cannot control boss movement, but you can take advantage of it if you see... You can't control boss movement, but you can control when you kill the spell. So a lot of IN scoring, you don't actually spend a lot of time watching where you are with respect to the bullets when you're doing these grazes. You spend a bit of time, but like a lot of your eye real estate has been put onto how is the boss moving with respect to me, and the pattern around it, and how can I take advantage. And that is an excellent stage 1 by Zetsu.
I think the PIV was 426k.
Elevator music again. I love it.
Alright, here we go.
Alright, we're back to it. 426.670.
Yeah. So I know that from previous years the toilet breaks were kind of not really existent for about an hour, but then in the second hour they would just roll them out constantly. But like so far I've still only seen one toilet break from Zetsu.
See, this is where the super player tech of having a tactical bottle empty bottle nearby can really, really help you if you need to squeeze that extra little bit of time in.
Fair.
Apologies if it might be a bit crass for commentary, but hopefully I chose some appropriate language.
So apparently Zetsu says he's tired, which is unfortunate. I mean, a lot of people don't have much stamina, like myself.
Yeah, in IN, there's a little rule in the IN scoring community. The more you play, the worse you get.
That's any game.
It's any game, but because IN score runs go up to like 48 to 50 minutes, not all games go that PCB definitely can get that long.
Rivers lost the gauge, so he... Yeah.
Gauge management, it's always something you'd be paying attention to, because with a shot type like Yomu, all it takes is you being focused or unfocused at the wrong time, and you lose lots and lots of score. Do any of her games have that mechanic of like the presence of whether you're focused or not, like dictates score to a huge degree?
DDC? Because when you shoot focused, you get PIV.
Yeah, I know very little about DDC, so I was actually it was a genuine question.
I remember with Sakia B, if you shoot
Zetsu
focused...
lost his place.
Yep. Oh, he's back down.
It happens. It's not catastrophic. It's a bit sad, but
None.
Oh, we're back. Oh yeah, it's midnight for Zetsu.
Hey, you're allowed to play IN until it reaches 5 AM, but after that, the game ends.
Yeah. But wait, what if it reaches 5 AM in real life?
Exactly, you have to stop playing. That's when the game ends, whether you like it or not. If it's 5 AM, the run ends, or you close it, or you close the game.
Yeah.
Would you reset with a 16k stage 2? 16k is already pretty good with Yomu because she gets less than the teams.
16k stage 2.
I don't think we mentioned, but stage 2 with the Yomu is extremely difficult compared to the teams.
Yes, you do not have the ability to not kill familiars by focusing. So you have to be very meticulous with how you Because Yomu's shot is directed by how she moves. If you move up, her familiar shot shoots down. So you have to not only move with respect to the bullets that are being fired at you, but also for your own shot. And it just adds this extra layer of complexity. And you might see that when you're playing Yomu, or people who are really good at playing Yomu move in a very jerky manner. And that's just to position their shot. You learn to move in these ways where you manage to return back to your initial position, but with the direction of the shot that you desire to have. It's kind of like in a fighting game, you have these you have combos that are that when you do these specific button presses, you get the specific attack you want. It's same with Yomu. You can memorize a particular combination of movements to get the shot into a particular place, and then when you focus, it locks into place.
We got Firefly on the left. Wait, this is not Firefly. What's it called?
Firefly Phenomenon.
Phenomenon. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, this shot, Yomu and Ghost Team have an easier time on this. This spell on other teams is Carpal Tunnel Simulator.
It's like a trade-off. Do you want your hands to die, or do you want a good time but then a hard time on stage 2?
Yeah. I'm not kidding. You have to take breaks if you're feeding in credits into stage 1 or practicing that spell, because it is optimal play. Because the thing is, it's not even just spamming it shift like as fast as you want, as fast as you can. There's a particular rhythm to it where you get maximum score from it.
Yeah, there's like there are ways to there are ways to like sort of do it in such a way that your hand is like still super relaxed, but even in those circumstances, you're still gonna tire out your muscle fibers.
Yeah, so you have to. If you're playing any scoring categories in general, practice good hand hygiene in terms of exercises. There's many hand exercises you can find online. If you take a little 5-minute break to do those, if you're in it for the long haul, if you want to get those really high PBs, you need to be treating your hands with respect.
Yeah.
You can't alternate fingers. It's not about alternating fingers. It's about the wrist specifically.
Yeah. I know that I've been slacking off on my hand warm-ups lately. So
Same.
Yeah, we should have like a little resource library in the community for hand hygiene.
That's bad.
Yeah.
He was surfing a ski hill, but then he collided with the ski hill. Happens to us all.
Actually, don't warm up my hands, but I do try to stretch after streaming.
Yeah, and actually, one of the reasons why these players were playing different games before starting is so that they were warming up in terms of their movement and getting used to getting in the shmup mode. But if you play the game that you're intending to play, you will get it. The longer you play it, the more tired you're going to get, because you're going through doing the same things over and over, and the more you do the same thing over and over, the more sloppy you get.
Right.
So it's genuinely, this is why you see these players playing different games at the start. It's so they can warm up in a way where you can still have focus in the category that you're playing.
There's something to that. I'm kind of still in the camp that they play a completely different game just as a meme. Personally, that is still a plausible explanation.
I think it's a bit of both. Whenever with these things, it's never one particular explanation. But I think it's so consistent. I see it so many times at TWC now, but I think it's got its purposes.
Yeah.
Sometimes memes and reality can converge.
just blend together seamlessly.
I'm gonna quickly go grab a glass of water from the other side of my room.
Yes.
I
like how they're all consistently getting 7k time into Wriggle.
Oh yeah, these are some very consistent players that we have. I mean, Zetsu was already known in previous years for his incredible consistency, and he is definitely putting that on show this year also.
Last year, which shot type did he play? Ghost Team?
I think he played Ghosts last.
Ghost was last year.
Yeah, in pretty much all previous years he's played Ghosts, but now he's playing Yomu because that's what he picked up this year. Got Reki with it. That's an unfortunate timeout from Rivers.
Yeah,
I know in PCB, if you time out a spell, your PIV drops. Does that happen in this game? Is there a way to drop your PIV?
I do not think you can drop your PIV. But it's entirely tied to the time system. Actually, your time does go down if you die, but the PIV doesn't.
And the time's only needed for getting the final extra spell card.
Yeah. $8 billion is Taz. 7 billion? We thought 7 billion was technically humanly possible, but we thought it was like you'd have to do a human Taz to get it. The fact that 7 billion exists is absolutely phenomenal.
I just back in 2018 or whatever, I just stumbled across a streamer who was like discussing the possibility of 7 bill, and like they were talking about how Alan probably had like over 7,000 hours at the time, and they theorized that 7 bill would probably require more than 10,000 hours playtime. Yeah,
7 billion requires such consistency and so many additional strategies. Alan was coming up with some absolutely nutty strategies to get 7 bill. We're talking like last spell 2, point blank grazing, of like Yomu's in Touhou 13, the Yomu point blank graze. It was like that, but you're doing it at the end of the game where resets are not an option, versus a point blank that if you fuck it up you can just reset.
As for 8 bill, there is currently a task that is being worked on.
What is the old task score? Anyone know?
I'm pretty sure I've seen an 11 bill Taz, but that is like not a human Taz. That's like that is literally impossible to do. 8 bill.
I would love to watch that Riku someday.
Because it's not just about Tazing the strategies perfectly, but it's also about choosing the perfect RNG seeds for each attack, which you're just not going to see.
Yeah. Me when the new USD task got cancelled.
There was a new one.
Yeah,
I was not informed of this. Was it the same guy?
Minoriko, the dude who did the PCB task, was working on something, but then he cancelled that project, as far as I'm aware.
I imagine it's really difficult with VOSD because there's so much RNG, trying to work out what is the best RNG seed for each attack. That must be an absolute nightmare.
$30 stage 1 prison. That's like on the lower side.
Welcome to IN.
Welcome to the classic arrow in those games. There you see more pain from Zetsu. Very sad.
I hope someone can get a run going so the stream will last longer.
Yeah. mean, Rivers is close.
You can't say, do we have a run going till you see stage 5?
I've been seeing stage 4, like getting through like the first section of stage 4. When you're in the Marista fight, I think that's when we're cooking. This is pretty good. 25k time. Very good.
Is this screen bugging out, Rivers, or did he like? Yeah, it's.
Probably
Does it always have the thing?
Yeah, if you tab out,
Yeah,
game just pauses.
I thought he was tabbed out, but at the bottom right it was saying press shot button, and it was flashing, so I know he wasn't tabbed out.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I don't know. Touhou games are weird.
Maybe if you tab out, some things continue moving and some things don't.
Possible, yeah. Alright, 2k Fairy. 456.
Yeah.
2,542.
So, I've always kind of wondered, how tight is the 2K Fairy?
Quite tight.
I think I remember I used Spoiler AL to like modify the frames, and I think it was like 8 frames?
Yeah.
7 frames, okay. 6 frames, okay.
It's
trust?
tight. It's tight, but humanly consistently human doable.
Yeah.
It's a fair amount of a precise timing, I'd say.
It's like within a tenth of a second, which is tricky but doable.
It's actually a bit harder with solo Yomu because with the teams you can continuously damage, but for solo Yomu you need to do all the damage at the start without killing her. But bring the fairy's health down enough so that one more shot will kill it.
Exactly.
Then you gotta wait and then time the shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing to note actually, so you can't kill bosses by damaging the familiars. You can do that with normal enemies though.
A bit early.
Solo Yomu has an easy time on Horned Owl Grazers because the really slow movement allows you to get through those arrowheads very easily, and the fast movement lets you control Mystia's position very well and do really, really efficient grazing.
Very nice.
We're looking good here. Yeah, that sounds about right, R2. You can get most of the bullets cancelled with the 2k fairies, but you'll get 1k. I think it's something to do with bullet density. When bullets are spawning, they're at the densest they can be at, and that increases the amount of time orbs dropped.
Zetsu flashed something on screen for a couple of frames, but I couldn't see it. Exactly what it was. It was another wriggle picture, but I couldn't really make out the details. What's it?
I wonder how many wriggle memes that Zetsu has. So it's interesting that this spell on Mystia has some punishment bullets for being at the top, but they only spawn at the start, and then you can dodge them consistently because they're just aimed. So you just go left, right, left, right. Then you can do all of these fun strategies going up to the top.
So right there, he was really close to the boss, so the boss can actually spawn some bullets.
Yep. Again, familiars cannot spawn bullets on top of you if you're on top of the familiar. I have to disagree, NC. Wriggle may be a boy, but that does not mean Wriggle is the ugliest.
There's a question about the red familiar still kill you. I remember there's like a red familiar and a blue familiar, and one of them can touch you.
Yeah, I think red kills you, blue doesn't.
Is there any examples of a red one?
I can't think of it on the top of my head. I think they're more likely to be spawned by
stage enemies?
Yeah.
Echo's third spell.
Actually, I think it's something to do as well. Like, I think familiars have hitboxes if you're in human mode, but not if you're in yokai mode. And obviously, not yokai mode. I mean, like, as a yokai or human. So Yomu has more time. More of a problematic time dodging familiars. I think the biggest example actually of the red familiars is Reimu's fight, because they just flat out become yin yang orbs.
That makes sense, yeah. Because I remember Sakio getting rammed by those.
And I think one of Border Team's hidden mechanics is that they can't. Border Team cannot get hit by familiars. I'm really curious to see if you play Border Team on stage 4A, whether that actually works for Reimu's yin yangs in that fight. Again, one of the beautiful things about this game is that all of the team shots have like there are routes and strategies for all of them, and even though they don't all have the same score potential, they all have interesting scoring gameplay, and all of their unique abilities allow you to have really tailor what you like, or what kind of gameplay you like in a shmup. Yeah, that sounds about right, Preston. It kind of makes sense that, like, when Reimu's fighting herself, she's not going to be hit by her yin yang orbs.
I thought Sakio's special ability was to slow down items falling.
Yeah.
I forget if that's actually useful. But
it is useful on stage six, yeah, because you can take it a bit slower. Like, Scarlet Team has the easiest stage 6, I think, because of that. Because even though you don't have the spread shot of Ghost Team, you have so much time to optimally collect those point items. Yeah, Sakia is really just a support for Remy in Scarlet Team.
I just realized that both Rivers and Zetsu does the final set of stage 3 fairies differently.
Yeah, again, that's the modular nature of the routes. Even if there is an optimal route, there might be a route that you find a bit more consistent for you, and being a score player is about managing consistency and the risk reward. And sometimes being a good player is knowing that, hey, this technique is not working for me, or this technique is not worth the risk, and therefore I'm going to play it safer. Because then you get you get consistently closer to the parts that you are good at, that you're able to milk more score from.
Both players out of stage 1, which is pretty nice. Hopefully we can get a run going for both.
And again, you might notice, again, in Penny's first spell, they don't move so much when the bullets are exploding, and that makes it a lot easier to find gaps. I only figured this out because when I was playing Ultra Patch, obviously you see all the bullets get like doubled, and then when in Ultra Patch, when you stay still on Ephemerality 137, you see these giant clear lanes that you normally can't see.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually interesting. I recommend playing Ultra Patch just to learn the intricacies of patterns that you normally can't see because the bullet density is too low.
So about familiars damaging bosses. Apparently it works on spell cards. So we made a mistake before, but good thing it got cleared up.
Yeah, it's it's the reason why you can actually kill Buddhist Diamond as solo Yomu. Otherwise, the familiars in Buddhist Diamond have huge amounts of health, so it would be impossible for Yomu to...
I think the same applied to the previous spell card. Not entirely sure, but just thinking.
Yeah, I think non-spells you can't finish off a boss's health, but you can in spell cards with familiar damage.
Second last wave, so it's okay. Oh, wait. Okay, that's interesting. So he actually went inside that wave and cancelled. I need to double check what he did there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I missed it.
So he misdirected. He misdirected the boss to the other side, to the left. Normally, people move her to the right. Then he went into the safe spot and cancelled.
I assume that's to try and get higher on the screen for the POC?
I was thinking normally... Actually, that would make sense, yeah. But he does cancel... He does collect the items at minus 50% or 50%. We need to double check that later and see.
It's really hard. The POC max item scoreline is different between bosses and stages.
So
really, I didn't know that.
There's only less than 4 minutes left on the clock, which means that both players are probably on their last runs now. So
yeah.
Speaking about runs, what's going on with River's score
Rivers
right now?
is absolutely blasting right now.
Oh, yeah.
5.1k. That is just... That is phenomenal.
13 mil ahead of Reki. Alright. Now you definitely better make it count.
Is this the last run magic people speak about?
We'll see.
Oh, did you see that the bomb there was timed so that Yomu was still in yokai, and then oh my god, I did not realize this is a thing, but you can if you spawn the bullets directly under, you bomb and then you graze in yokai mode. That
you move down and graze those bullets.
Yeah, that is. I'd never noticed that, but if you learn something new every time, that is great. Oh yeah, stage 6 is utter hell. I can't compare it to other games, but I would say because you implement so many scoring strategies in stage 6, and you really can't play it safe.
That's the suicide, right? Now full power.
That must be, yeah.
That's the stage 4 one I always see.
Yeah.
But I mean, he has 5 lives right now, and he's gonna get 3 more, right? So, looks right.
Yeah, that looks right.
Yeah, he's fine.
I love that you can do this planned suicide in many different places.
Yeah.
I guess if you find one section particularly harder than the others, you can choose to do the suicide then, even if it's not the most optimal place to use it.
Yeah. I think. Wait, that can't be right either. Because I think Alan did it in a different spot also, and I thought it was in the post section, but that wouldn't make any sense. You're dropping bombs in that case. I don't know.
He was definitely pre-mid boss. So why even suicide? Because you get 9 lives, and you can max out at 8, so you get 1 extra life. You could just not suicide, but Might as well suicide to get the 3 bombs back, right?
Yeah, you gain extra resources.
Second Toilet World Cup from Zetsu.
I guess that pretty much guarantees this is his last run.
Yeah.
Hopefully not his final toilet break.
And to be fair, for 36.5k coming out of stage 2, pretty fat score. Pretty fat PIV. I know this is just my Scarlet Team bias talking, but God, Marissa looks a lot less stressful than. No, don't say that.
No.
Commentators
Right.
curse.
No, he had time.
Commentators curse.
He has time, but now he's in deep waters. And 5 seconds left on final run before the final run for Rivers. And there it is. Zetsu also on final run. So better make it count.
Rivers at least has a lot less stress here, just because they already have the lead.
Yeah, he has the lead.
But that doesn't mean you want to be complacent, but it means that the nerves are less high.
Yeah. Also, you have to remember that Zetsu has a tendency of pulling out absolutely monster runs late in matches.
Yeah, again, this can go either way. Having the two best IM players of all time duking it out like this.
I'm not biased at all, but Team Spirit needs to win. And if Rivers wins, we get the 6, 7, 8 Kanda sweep, so Team Kanda finally getting a win.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
I do like how IN score streamers on their OBS settings actually create a new window for the gorge to be next to all of the Gray's point in time.
I think
Makes it easier for us to watch.
Yeah, it makes
in this case, it was added artificially.
Was it added artificially? Well, when I do my streams, I add those.
It was, in this case, it was done artificially.
Yeah, it's something I do. I also have my keyboard presses in the bottom right as well, so people can watch what I'm doing.
That is a long break for Zetsu, but it means we get a longer stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Longer time with IM.
Longer time to hear my lovely voice before I stop interacting with the community for another year until the next DWC.
Oh, we're back.
Yeah. Good old stage 3.
I'm watching this stage 3. This is going to be tense. And I love stage 3 with all shots is done so differently. It really showcases like the unique aspects of each shot type.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because there's ways of getting like high score. So obviously some shots are better.
Okay.
Alright, that's just a suicide. It's not a suicide, but we'll just count that as a suicide.
Yeah. At least if you know all of the different places you can do that suicide, you can turn a train. You can reverse a train wreck. That's again the benefit of a modularly designed score game. Is that it allows the best players who know multiple different strategies to employ them in different situations. Almost like a flowchart.
Yeah.
That was not an optimal council. It doesn't matter too much, but this is a sort of category with any small gains that can be made could be all the difference.
Yeah.
So far, looking good on stage 3.
Yeah. Light hiccup at the beginning, but otherwise fine.
Nice.
Back when Spoiler Al was the meta for practice tools, you could not actually practice the second part of stage 3 because the fairies would not spawn correctly because they would use a variable that is set in the middle of the stage at some point to determine the spawn location. So the fairies in that second part of the stage, if you loaded it up in Spoiler Al and did a frame skip, they would spawn like fairies early on in the stage. It was super obnoxious.
Yes.
Because I practiced like with that, those fairy spawns, and then I went back into like just normal stage practice, and I would die every time. And only by looking back at recordings, I would realize why. Again, record if you're playing any higher level category, streaming, and then looking back at your mistakes on stream. Even if you're not streaming for other people, having those recordings to look back on is a great way of analyzing your gameplay and improving as a player.
It was also mentioned in chat, but yeah, the stage backgrounds are not tied with frame skips, so it can kind of mess up your timings.
Yeah. Same with music. Some stages, especially stage...
early on stage 2.
Yep, but he's continuing.
Yeah.
Nothing on perfect stage 6 can't fix.
Yeah, nothing. As we say in the iron scoring world, everything can be fixed with a perfect cags.
Absolutely everything.
That's me. Yeah, perfect cags gives 7B every time, even if you're fully behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all of the game systems, like the number of point items dictating how much raw time you get. Like losing point items is not just losing the raw score there; it's losing score for the rest of the game. It's huge.
Make sure to always go for the point items. Like even if just playing for survival, because that's how you get lives.
Which is something we actually didn't mention until now.
Yep. So you see the number to the right of the point. It's like 190 out of 250 for rivers. Once you reach 250, you gain an extra life, and then the number for the next life goes up until it reaches 9999, where the game decides you are no longer getting extra lives unless you hack.
In PCD, that number goes up infinitely, but there's only about 1600 point items in the entire game, so...
Yeah. If there's any reason to score Imperishable Night, at least if you put a few hundred hours into it, even if you've left the game for many years like I have, you can still appreciate and know everything for the score runs.
Oh yeah.
So even when you stop playing, you still have the ability to enjoy the masterful gameplay by other players.
Yeah. Like, even just like without putting in hundreds of hours, like even if you're just like a student of replays like I am, it is I believe even that is. Sorry.
Was he bringing over the break time picture for a second? I saw it at the corner. Like, I'm not going crazy. I literally saw it at the corner, at the right side of the screen.
I wish I had your attentiveness, Kenna. I focus on one side and then completely miss the other side.
Yeah, that's the difficulty of doing TWC commentary. You have to pay attention to two, sometimes three people at once.
Yeah, I've been trying to give a bit more attention to Rivers, just because Zetsu's been spanking many times, and I want to share the love because these are both excellent players.
Yep. 4-player match is that would probably be too much.
I feel like space would be an issue on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
3 players is fun, but it's hard to keep track of. I think it's better for categories like extra, where it's a bit more condensed.
Yeah, more condensed, more reset heavy, all that stuff. But you know, we showcase the players that we get, and you know, a lot of the times we get 3 players on Lunatic, 2 players on extra.
How long until we have POV PvP as a category?
I don't know. Ask the rest of the community. I'm kind of neutral on that.
I think it would be a fun, little different category to have. PvP scoring. Oh my! You do not want to see that. That is Cherno versus Cherno, and it will last hours. I'm not joking. I think Chum and Zill played around with that, and you can just keep that match going for as long as you want.
Yeah.
It's basically like the person who wins is the person who decides that they don't want to play the category anymore. It's like drinking someone under the table, but the Touhou equivalent.
True.
I think Rivers lost a fairy.
Yeah, I can vouch. Like, I spent like 5.5 minutes in bonus run with someone at some point, and you know, it is fun for a few minutes at least. But if you keep going for fucking hours, then it just starts getting.
Yeah, maybe you'd have to ban some characters to make it.
Wait, no. He can. Oh wait, that's a second death.
Yeah. Well, Rivers is still in the lead. It's possible for Zetsu to pull something out. It's all up to Zetsu's gameplay now to see who comes out on top.
Oh yeah.
Rivers has played excellently and
very well played, sir. Very well played.
6.7B is insane.
It is insane.
Let's see this. 889 hours, really less than 1,000.
It might be. People may practice on different devices, or I don't think it tracks the same way on different practice applications. But that's still like
huge amount.
I have 2,000 hours and I'm not this good.
It's a possibility. Yeah.
Yeah, 37k play count. Alright, we're back to this run.
You wouldn't happen to know what Alan's playtime was?
No idea.
I think he got to 20k.
Wow. Holy.
And that's with all shot types combined. I think he scored every single.
Hey, NC,
shot, right?
NC. It's those two are not mutually exclusive. But yeah, 20,000. Like, because IN does not track. It's tied to your score file, the time, and so if you change computers or whatnot, you don't get an accurate. It also doesn't accurately track the time as well. But yeah, for the players like this, it's very easy to get. It's very easy to get to these huge play times.
Hello.
Hi. Hey.
What do you think about your runs?
Wow, I have no idea why that was the first last blast.
It happens, doesn't it?
It
It happens.
just happens.
Could have been.
Oh no.
Could have been. I think could have been 6.8 if I kept that. But if I kept that, I probably won't cap Rising World. So
Yeah.
well, that's what I'll
Yes.
get anyway.
Dying to LS1 and got rid of the nerves so you can cap Rising World. So that death there, how much score is lost? He loses the clear
It's
bonus, I
like
guess.
the 70 mil. So like 6.81.
6.81? Alright.
Yeah.
Wait, you're talking about your run, right? And not
My
that's his run right now.
Well,
Okay,
his
okay.
run, he lost at least like 200 mil.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, dying to the LS4 is really heartbreaking because you lose at the SCB alone, it's almost 100 mil.
Yeah.
And you also lose the night bonus.
Night bonus.
And also, there's also a tremendous cancel.
Yep.
I think
This
it's
is
11 mil yellow bonus.
Yeah, the yellow
you
bonus
lose
and
so
also the star item worth a lot at the end game. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's like basically 200 mil.
A star item's it's a value pegged on grays, point items, or time.
Correct.
I can't remember.
Grace.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's at the end of the game, your grade is really high, like 50k or something. So like, it's really painful.
Yeah, and that's why like you see people players grazing unfocused, especially in stage one where when you're a human you get 3 extra graze points.
So
Yeah, that's right. Well, also stage 1 is really the only place you can optimize like grades, because everywhere else you just optimize the cancels.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
so Rivers, are you watching the run right now?
Yeah, I'm watching. He's
Okay.
in stage 4.
How much did he lose from the mid stage death there?
Oh, I
before-
didn't. I didn't see he died.
Yeah,
he died just
on
before
stage 4.
He died just before
Boss.
our second half.
Isn't that the suicide?
He died on stage 3 as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's not suicide. Well, you can only suicide once.
Yes.
Well, a life is like 37 mil, so he's at least he lost at least 37 mil. Plus maybe 1 or 2 bombs, depends on how much he bombed in the rest of the run.
So maybe including the lost like time and
50.
other things, maybe about 50.
50 mil, I guess, yeah. Depends on where he died in stage 3, because, well, if he died to like the 700 ferries, it's not that painful, but
It was
because I don't know what.
It was to
Just
the
before,
the fairies just before mid boss.
Oh, okay, so it's not that painful. Okay, so maybe 50 mil. Let's just say 50 mil.
It seems roughly in that ballpark.
Well, yeah, and that's basically the same place where I died the last run.
Yeah, here's a question. Like, there's many different places that you can recover from a death by making that the suicide in the run. But how many different places can you do that?
Well, you cannot recover after
All right, break time.
classic 10. Okay, he's giving me time to explain. That's nice. Yeah, so you cannot recover after your last extend, because if you die after your last extend, you can only cure with 7 lives.
Mm-hmm.
And if you die before your last extend, like if you don't suicide in stage 4 and you die anywhere, it's basically the same because you clear with 8 lives anyway. Why is there a toilet for Rico? Like, what's the what?
I think it's a joke on how no one knows whether Wriggle is a girl or a boy.
Oh, I see. Gender neutral.
Just gender neutral toilets. Just needs lots of Wriggle posted all over.
Well, yeah. So yeah, like
Now this is good music.
I died in Switch 2 and I just continued because I didn't really lose. At least I don't lose any clear bonus. I lost a lot of cancels, but that's unavoidable.
Yeah, you can make that up in other ways later on in the game. As long as you're not losing that clear bonus, you're
Possibly, yeah.
You're still cooking on gas.
Yeah. And then I died a second time, so I just quit.
Yeah, I mean you've still got a solid run set in, so it's
99.
Yeah, but he has like very high chance of beating me in this round, so he's cooking in his toilet. So yeah. Scary.
It's tense. It's tense. It can go either way, and all we can do is watch now.
He's going to the toilet to strategize.
Yeah.
Going to the toilet with his laptop to then practice the sections that he needs to practice.
Yeah, so he has 5 lives and 5 bombs. So if he wants to clear with as much as clear bonus as possible, he cannot use any bomb in the rest of the round. So cap everything basically.
Actually, that's interesting. Because like, what if you theoretically had? He's back. What if you theoretically had like 2 separate PCs, and then you use the second PC to practice patterns during the final run?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think someone mentioned that like some times ago.
Yeah, I remember this conversation.
Yeah.
Cacto used to do this as well. Cacto used to do that. If he was going into Remy, go into his PC.
Well, actually, I think he can bomb. He can still bomb once. Yeah,
4 bombs left.
Bomb once.
How many bombs are left? I thought it's 2 left. 2 on stage 5 and 1 on stage 6.
Oh, well, I can't remember. I'm an Iron Score. I can't remember the route.
What I love about this game, and I'm sure you agree with us, is that like because you get so many resources, but you still want to have a particular target. You have flexibility with recovery and mistakes that a lot of games do not let you have. Like even if you make a mistake, there's backup ways of fixing.
Yeah, basically just don't die after mid stage by mid boss, because that's the last extent.
Yeah.
Which is hard because you have a whole stage 6 boss after that.
Yeah, you have hell on earth. Or hell in the sky. Okay,
he's pretty good. 7k entering mid boss.
Could you? I forgot the precise way of doing this, but how do you stop not losing the extend here?
Basically, if you don't kill any familiars at the time of cancel, it's like barely at item cap. So if you just kill like 1 or 2 familiars, you lose like 100 times, and it's pretty safe that way.
Excellent.
If you do it at the top right, if you do it at the bottom, it's like you get even more cancel, which is meaningless because you got item cap anyway.
So there's multiple benefits for using that safe spot.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So he killed a lot of familiars, so yeah, so he killed more than needed, but it's pretty safe that way.
So do the people do it at the top right just to make it safer? Because I haven't seen that till recent.
I think it was Alan first started using it like after his PV, I think. So if you call it recent, it's recent, but it's not that recent.
I see. And it's only with solo yellow?
It's not good too.
Well, if you are using Ghost, you can like you want more cancel because you don't get item capped.
I see.
Yeah, and I mean, as a survival pattern, I think the only shot that cannot use it is Magic Team. Because all the other shots can like hit the boss from above.
Makes sense, yeah.
So final shot at Raisin.
Oh, okay, so he cannot bomb. He has 7 bombs.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Raisin? Do you feel like Raisin is still pretty stressful because it's near the end of the run, or do you find her relatively easy, other than 1 or 2 patterns?
Well, comparing to stage 6, she's like nothing.
Yeah.
The only
People in chat
place
would like to know the current pace or current potential.
I'm really bad at the mind blowing. I think the one where like the cancel is really hard. I'm really bad at that spell, so that one is a little bit stressful for me. But outside of that, it's like okay. Last spell is just dodging, so there's no point getting nervous.
Okay, NC says it's higher than 6.7.
Yeah.
This is higher than 6.74.
Yeah,
I
that's
think-
a question.
I think this can 6.8.
If he really goes for it in stage 6, yeah, I think. Because he has 6.22 entering Raisin, so. And he has he's 1 life short, so. Yeah, if he really pushes it in stage 6, it might be possible. But he only needs to beat me, he doesn't need to get 6.8, so. Did you, well, I guess we can have another chance to cover stage 6, the stage section. Did he, like, die in stage 6 in the previous rounds? No.
I don't think he
I
does.
think so.
Okay, that's good, because if you die in a tournament setting, it's really bad, because you've gone all the way through to stage 6 and now you have to reset.
Wait, where did he die in last run? I thought he cleared 8.
4, right? Yeah, he cleared with 8.
He cleared with 8, but he died to the 4th last spell, the super great.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
How much score do you get per life and bomb? I think it's 25 mil per life and then 5 mil per bomb, and then multiply those by 1.5.
Yeah, so 37 mil and 7.5 mil. Yeah, people are answering in chat, yeah. Those are the correct number. Okay. And Zetsu is a really consistent player, like I have never gotten a perfect stage 6 in real runs, ever. And he has gotten like multiple times. So the chance is really high.
Yeah.
To just wait and see.
Yeah, that's what I keep saying. Zetsu is known for his consistency and toilet breaks.
Yeah. How many hours have you got in this game, Rivers?
Sorry, what?
How many hours have you got in this game?
My current data is
playtime.
like my current data is after I got elements, so it's like 700 hours. And
Like-
before that, I don't know, I got 500 hours.
Yeah, like so. I think Zetsu has like maybe close to double that, and that's probably why like Zetsu's been scoring for a long time, and therefore has probably gotten a lot of time in stage 6. So I think the fact that you're so close to his score with a lot less playtime, like it kind of shows that you have not reached your full potential yet. You've got the ability to do some great things.
Oh yeah, thank you. I wish I can get like 7 view, 7 view before I reach 1,000 hour in the current play file.
Like that would be absolutely phenomenal. That would be. That is super play. That is.
That would be insane, really.
Yeah, I still have like 200 hours to spend, so yeah, possible.
In 2016 to 2020 when I was like really active, like 7 billion was a meme. Like we just didn't believe it could happen, and now it's like on the table.
Yeah, I mean, it's really thanks to Zetsu that really show the potential of this shot. Like when I was when I was playing before he started doing runs, I was just like, anyway, I'm already close to world record, close enough. And then he got like really good scores in like 2 weeks, and then I was like, oh crap, I need to play again. Okay, so he messed up the cancel on full moon a little bit. I think it's like 5 mil loss.
Yeah,
It's
that sounds
okay.
about right.
This is more score than his last run, though.
Oh, okay, nice. So that 3.81. I don't know what's the clear bonus.
I think
I
it's
can't
more score than his last run, because I remember 369 before clear bonus last time.
Okay, but you have to subtract the clear bonus, like the life loss.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then you gotta add the LS4 cap this time, because he's gonna get it this time.
Yeah, I don't think he could I don't think he can fail that spell twice in a row. Like, let's just get real. There's no way he can fail that.
It's the first thing he
Knock on wood.
practiced when he failed that. When he failed that.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, I have been having trouble capping that thing like a few weeks earlier, and then I just I found another strat that is more consistent than what I was doing. So
What is it? Do you unfocus then focus, or do you like tap focus? What is it?
well, basically I was using sound cues, and then I realized the sound cues are really not that consistent. So I just look at the verdict and dodge
Yeah,
it.
I've always done it the same way. I visually look at it because it's actually once you train your eye for it, you can see the gaps quite clearly.
It's fun so far.
I have an excellent trick for getting consistent on LS4 rivers. Play Scarlet Team.
Yeah. Okay, so the cancels are not bad. I thought he was going for the first value, but okay, that's okay.
A bit of score loss from the lack of time from the cancels, but you at least get all of the point items without any risk.
Yeah, you also get like some star items, so that partially recovers the loss. So it's better than dying, so no one will risk going for the cancel here.
Like, so there's something that I've wanted to talk about since the beginning of the match, but I never had the chance. Like when you look at the time orbs really closely, don't they kind of resemble the kanji for like either water or eternity?
Yeah, I think because it's so small, I think it's supposed to be the first kanji of iron, but I'm not sure. It could be water, but if it's water, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It has to be the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just.
I think it was a bit more clear on the introduction slides that we had, because we had a zoom in of it, so you could see it clearly there.
Yeah, it's probably supposed to be the one for eternity, but because it's so pixelated, it looks like water.
It could be ice too.
Maybe.
Ice is freezing the time.
So since you're here, we just want to confirm, you were playing PCB at the start to warm up your hands, right? Right?
Oh yeah, that was, I'm not sure if I should say this, but like, before the match, like a few days ago, he actually went to me and said, like, can we do that playing a different game thing together? So I'm like, okay, sure, yeah, okay, I'll play PCB.
He was playing Hidden Star.
He was playing, yeah, he seems.
He's been a lot tamer in recent years, because like he started out with fucking Jelly Puzzle and like Deer Hero, and then like Flower Puzzle the following year. But
yeah, I like the Jelly Puzzle. I want to play the Jelly Puzzle again.
Jelly Puzzle is a good game. I'm gonna shill this right now. Jelly Puzzle is a great game.
Oh, he's for 6.9 bill and set 1 life short. But he has to really push for it. Like, well, 4 spell at least. I'm not sure if 4 spell alone is enough. I think, yeah, I mean, it's only 6.74 to beat. So, yeah, I think it should be enough.
Alright, here we
Okay,
go.
let's go, let's go.
Final Kaguya.
Oops, scary.
Yeah, scary.
I sometimes like.
Oh god, yeah, he got absolutely fucked there. He got
So
absolutely
that's
fucked
like-
there, yeah.
Because he bomb killed the cancel along in that now is actually like 10 mil. So I'm not sure if the bomb iframe is too long to nullify that star item value.
Because you don't for a period in the bomb you don't get any star item points,
Yeah,
do you?
like the USC players knows about this.
I wasn't sure if it's in this game. Because I know in PCB it's not there for Sakuya B, but it's there for the other shots, so I thought maybe he took it out in this game.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it should be in iron. So that was a little bit worrying. Let's just see how he does this. Bombing is bad.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He always kill almost all the familiars in this. No, I'm not sure if that's optimal. I've never done the calculation, so it might be.
Yeah, yeah, it's something I've always interested in. So you want to be.
I am so scared right now.
Well, he clearly
This
knows
is-
when to.
What is this?
Race
What is
speed.
this RNG?
I'm impressed that he's not dead yet.
Oh, okay, I think he got it.
consistency.
Yeah,
He
he
stayed
Nice.
unfocused most of the time. I think Rivers swapped to focused for that spell card.
At the
Well,
end,
yeah, because
at the
I
end,
accidentally lost the human godrak near the beginning of the spell, so I just switched to focus anyway, because there's no way to recover that.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty big loss, but well, it's better than not having it.
Bro, these walls are pissing me off.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, he found that. Ah, he killed it again.
I saw
Okay, I'm
star
not
items
sure.
were just giving 100, so yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so okay, so if you do that, like it kind of messed up your opening for this spell, but he's handling pretty good. Yeah, because yeah, he has to do like returns to kill that familiar.
That's due to the bomb?
Because you bombed and you don't have enough time to go where you're supposed to go
I see.
before. Yeah, so that's why.
by the way,
There's no more
Rivers,
frameworks.
what's your favorite scoring strat in this game?
My favorite, I guess, the Mysterious spell, because that's the first one I practiced.
I'm surprised people
Like-
start off with that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy that I didn't fail it even once in this whole match.
It's surprisingly consistent once you got enough hours into it.
Yeah, but you can, like, if you fat finger, you can still die during the micro, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually developed another strat thanks to Unnamed that deal with a really rare RNG, but she just didn't give me that RNG anyway, so I didn't get a chance to show that.
Yeah, it's interesting that people
He's
see
getting
IN as very RNG. There's not much RNG in the game, but the RNG really starts to matter in IN scoring because you spend so much time close to the bosses, where boss movement matters so much.
Yeah, okay, very nice cancel on the Life Spring Infinity, like perfect cancel.
Yeah.
It doesn't gain much, but it's perfect cancel, so...
Fine. Okay, Horai Jewel.
Okay, nice. I think he can beat me. Oh no.
Oh dear. will the Canada sweep happen, or
We need the
will-
Canada sweep. I I believe in Zetsu's good gameplay, but I also believe in Kaguya to help us out here.
We need to make the next TWC one of the team names Team Maple.
Yeah, Canada versus the rest.
Canada versus the world. Let's go.
Is he on track for 6.7? We have no idea. We'll find out.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, definitely 6.7. Not sure about 6.8. Might be close, but not quite.
This is gonna be a tight.
Like tight 6.8, I think. Okay, nice. He got the hardest squeeze. Okay.
How did you learn this Horatio, by the way? I learned it by watching back and a Yusuke replay and mapping every button press onto a spreadsheet.
Well, when I first learned it, I just took a piece of paper and write down every color of every color where you go through the lanes. I just memorized that sequence of colors and then start doing it.
Yeah, I also memorized the when you use the friction when you're holding down at the bottom versus when you want to let go but still be focused to open up an opening.
Yeah, right. Okay, SP0 is saying May 6.8, so he's probably right.
SP0 is a master of calcs on the fly.
Yeah.
There's a new Iron Scorer in chat asking if you have access to those papers or spreadsheets to help him.
I can fish it out on my old hard drive. It's for Scarlet Team only, though.
That guy is scoring Scarlet Team, so yeah.
If you want to learn iron scoring, get into the iron scoring Discord. Message one of us, and we have a lot of resources there.
You can just watch any of the top players run and writing down like yellow, blue, purple, like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coming up on LS4.
Yeah.
Have you seen the point blank strategy that Alan developed for this?
For like the first valve?
For the second.
Oh, the second.
Alright, LS4, here we go.
It's time.
You can point blank it, but it's incredibly risky.
Oh, I didn't know it's Alan who developed it, but okay, let's go.
I thought it was Robert who developed it.
2, 3.
There we
He's
go.
out.
Nice. And he also grazed a bit.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's going to be 91.
Nice. Okay, now my only hope is Rising World, please.
Rising
at
World,
least 90
please.
though. 90.0. Oh, wait. I saw 90. Wait, why does it say 89.9? Anyways, this time.
Right. Rising World, please.
Coin flip.
This is the coin flip. It's in a game full of memorization. This is the final fuck you.
This guy is
Please.
not nearly as difficult as Buddhist Diamond, so my hope is pretty high.
He swapped the focus, but it's still shooting. Oh, nice.
Epic.
Oh!
Epic. Ah! Okay, it might still be enough.
That's not epic.
I think that's enough. It's going to be about... Wait, oh my god, it's not enough.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
4 fucking million. 4 fucking million, dude. No.
Wow.
Shit.
That was so close.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have like just keep shooting and not capping it. It would be enough to beat me. Like, cause he stopped shooting he stopped gaining shooting times quite early.
Yeah.
If he kept shooting, like, it's enough to beat me.
Oh no.
I knew this was going to be a close one.
Scary. Ah.
Yeah.
But wow, you are both amazing players, and if this
Congrats on the win.
if this doesn't convince you to pick up iron scoring, nothing will.
Yeah. So we have a difference of 0.8 I score, which is not as close as the EDC extra match, right? I think it was that one.
But I think given the length of his category...
Oh no, the BGM. Yep.
It's just like...
His BGM turned off though, right?
Yeah, the Rigo BGM.
Yeah. Anyways, final results. In
Wow.
second place, we have Team Lotus with Zetsu. 98.416 TWC score with a solo Yomi 6.737. And yep, we have to use 4 significant digits this time because in first place we have Rivers playing for Team Spirit, bringing home the Canada sweep for the classic Arrow Windows games with...
Well, I can't believe I actually won for Team Spirit.
Yeah, so,
I know.
So anyways, Yomu 6.741 billion, 99.23 TWC score. Very well played from both of you.
Just a note to the chat, like even though iron scoring on Lunatic definitely looks like difficult, and it is very intricate. Iron normal scoring is actually a really fun category that's very accessible, has unique normal mode strategies. Don't let Lunatic scoring get you out of scoring this game. Like normal scoring is a legit thing.
Choose Scarlet Team on normal and spin Rainbow's first spell.
Yeah. There's so many unique strategies you can't do in Lunatic that you can do in normal, so don't let it stop you.
Yeah.
Scoring is for everybody.
Any comments about your run?
Me?
Yes.
It's really lucky that I won with a pretty mysterious dash. But yeah, I'm pretty happy that I won because I was totally not prepared for this result.
You had a 1 credit 6.8 a few days ago, right? So it seems like you're pretty ready for this run.
Yeah, because that was during the night. This is morning for me.
Morning.
So I have the morning debuff for Iron. Yeah.
Yeah, Iron, you can only play it at night, and as soon as it hits 5 a.m., you have to close the game.
Yeah. So I'm pretty happy, and GG to Zetsu. His run would be phenomenal if he had kept the LS4. But yeah, GG to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you both played excellently.
Thank you.
Imagine playing at 5 a.m., but for KG tournaments, we always have to. Oh, yeah.
True. Yeah, very excellently played. Just phenomenal showcase of what this game is capable of.
But there's more to this game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have another match.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. It's in 43 minutes? I thought it was tomorrow. All right, more IM today. Nice.
Yay.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on sticking around, but I'm going to stick around for this. Maybe I won't be on comms, but it's been a while since I've seen Levia play.
Enjoying. We're going to have some nice commentators too.
Who's commentating?
I think.
we have Sakurai.
Yeah. We got...
hopefully he doesn't fall asleep during commentary like he has done in previous TWCs.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's up next. We got Pingval versus Levia.
Is this the first time we're having extra scoring in like a few years? It wasn't there last year.
It's like okay, so I tend to be pretty against leaking internal matters, but I think I should say that this match almost didn't happen this week because if for those who have, well, most people don't see it, but like Pingval got sick, so
it's going to be pretty nice to see 2 shot types that most people don't normally see for extra scoring.
What shot types are we seeing?
We won't spoil it though. You can find out soon.
We'll find out soon. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Pingval was. Did you already say that? Okay.
Yeah. He got a bit of a cold, so it's pretty unfortunate timing because I would have been in favor of rescheduling it, but like it's too short notice. So yeah, he can still play though. He's still able to play.
Yeah, the true power is depends on his condition. Yeah.
And we're reaching the end of TWC. I believe this is the second last match.
Yeah, this is the second last match, and we have UM scoring tomorrow. It's going to be a fun one to watch for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like it's like 3 a.m. for Japanese, so please be nice to him.
Yeah, definitely. IN Extra is, of course, very unique as any other extra stage. So I hope to see
Yeah,
a
we
good
will leave
showcase of
that to the actual commentator.
Yeah.
One question regarding the lore. What time does extra stage happen? Because I know stage 6
Yes,
ends at
exactly.
1.
It's exactly 3 a.m.
Oh, wow.
In the lore, so that's kind of why we set that time. It's also because they couldn't have scheduled it at any other time, but yeah.
So yeah, it's another oh boy 3 a.m. moment.
Yeah, yeah.
The ending happens. The character tells the player characters about someone in the forest, and then the next stage plays out.
Yeah. So
yeah,
that's what you have to look for.
This is authentic Iron Extra experience.
Any last comments about your run, or maybe you have any plans for other shot types? Maybe Scarlet Team? Maybe Scarlet Team? Maybe Scarlet Team?
Maybe Scarlet Team?
Yeah, I want to do 4 scoring, so Scarlet or Magic. I know one plays Magic, so Scarlet.
It would be interesting. I think you could definitely push Magic. If it's a very interesting category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very hard.
So
yeah, Magic Team has a lot of surprising difficulties that you will never know until you touch that shot.
Yeah, stage 3 Magic Team. Oh my god.
Yeah. So in conclusion, we're gonna completely switch off the commentary team for this match. So we won't be there, but we hope you'll like the people that will be there. And there's still, I guess, 28 minutes left before they come on. But in the meantime, we'll play some music. And do you guys have any final words?
Apologies if we made mistakes because we were like last-second commentators, so we're not really good at IN, but we hope we were able to help you guys understand the game a bit more.
Yeah, I haven't played IN in 3 years, but hopefully I've been able to pass on some interesting knowledge and get you interested in the game. And thank you for the hosts for allowing me this lovely opportunity to help you guys understand the game.
Once again, congrats on the win.
Yeah, thank you everyone.
Yep. I think that's going to be all for us, and we will see you when we see you. But again, this match is on. Be there or else. See ya.
So yeah, I think we will close the call for now.
Alright then, hope you enjoyed the game. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Bye.